here?
I'm ready.
Just want to make sure you're ready, brother.
Show me the money.
Oh, you didn't know?
Every day I'm hustling. Every day I'm hustling. Every day I'm hustling.
Put my shoes on, you wouldn't last a mile.
Summertime, wintertime, I'm on the grind. Yeah, I got the ring, I'm the champ, I'm the genie of the lamp.
This is the gift I was given, so I just live by my hustle.
My pocket, it don't make sense, but don't make a profit. So I hustle, ladies and homies. Make money, money.
Called out here for a pill. Really tryna get this money for the real.
I want to find a thing to save my life, so I hustle.
It ain't over for me. No, it ain't over for me.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Show me the money!
Okay, let's go smoke that joint.
What up, Fantasy Football Hustler, back at you, and we got another mock draft. This one's going to be a 1 QB. We got a kicker, we got a defense. We're keeping it real vanilla today on these leagues. And I got a bunch of guys who are in here with me today, so let's bring them out. First guy, my man TD Good Sports. We're also streaming on his YouTube channel right now. So if you are not subscribed to Fantasy Good Sports, make sure you get over there right now on YouTube and check it out. What up, TD?
What's going on, guys? Hey, listen, if I'm the zero RB guy, if you want the zero RB strategy, hit your boy up, Fantasy Good Sports at all social media platforms, and go to my OnlyFans. I was on OnlyFans before they stopped the girls from taking the clothes off. So I'm on there. If you want to check out some zero RB content, come to OnlyFans.
There we go. Trendsetter, you already know. All right, and we got a full house today, so we're just going to get to it. Next guy on the show hasn't been on the show yet, so really excited to have him here. You've seen him on From the Couch sports show, and I'm going to be doing some stuff on there again this year. It is going to be pretty awesome, so I'm hyped. Here we go. Show some love for KD.
What's up? How y'all doing? Hey, thank you guys for having me, man. Special shout out to Fantasy Football Hustler. I'm stoked to be here. This is my first time on the show, but hey, I expect to do well. So you guys don't embarrass me too much.
Nah, you're good. I mean, I know a bunch of people remember that show last year. It was always streaming in the Facebook group that we're all a part of, and everybody knows you got some good takes, not just about fantasy, but football in general.
Appreciate that.
And then here we go. We got some recurring guests on the show. My man, JC Money Design, the guy bringing all the graphics these days on the show.
I like big butts and I can't lie.
Gotta like them big butt receivers, baby. Let's go. Never gonna live it down.
Never. We're gonna make you remember all the time now, every show.
Oh, let's go.
All right.
Cheers, boys. Cheers.
There we go. And last but not least, let's bring out my man, Steven. He's always here to make sure that he's going to give JC Money Design a hard time.
What's up, boys? Good to be here with y'all again.
Let's go, Steven.
Yeah. There we go. Bogard in the building. So he's going to be in here soon. In his studio, he doesn't have the best internet, so he can't get on the mock draft and video at the same time. So that's why we're doing it this way. All right. Here we go. And actually, before we get into this, I got to remind everybody, was Stu actually in the building? Yeah, he's already in here. What up, Stu? So yep. Shout out to Stu. Shout out for the to the Dream to Walk Foundation. We got a charity league going down right now. 100% of the proceeds are going to Stu's foundation, Dream to Walk. Raised over $1,000 so far. We're doing big things. We got James Coe in the league, Adam Rank in the league, Marcus Grant in the league, and then we got Schmitty from the Fantasy Football Show in the league. We're doing a live draft this Friday and pretty much this entire week on all my live streams. It's going to be like a telethon. So anybody who donates 100% is going to the Dream to Walk. So you can donate through Cash App, Zelle, Apple Pay, or PayPal at the bottom. You can send a super chat through YouTube, but they're going to steal about 50% of that. So if you want 100% of your donation to go to Stu's Foundation, the Dream to Walk, right at the bottom of the screen, you'll see the ticker there. All right. And someone said they needed until...
He said he's here. He just
All
posted on there. He's here.
All right, good to go. So let's get into this. I'm going to hit the start button. And minute timer. Here we go. And what up to everyone who's in the comments? Make sure you shout out some comments so we know who's all in here. But yeah, there's a few dozen people in here right now. So what up, guys? What's going on?
This is weird for me. I have never had the first pick.
There we go. CMC. Pretty much going to be. Can anybody make a case for Dalvin Cook at number 1, or everyone in here CMC all the way at number 1?
As a Vikings fan, he's awesome, man. He's a beast. He's ridiculous. But then there's those games where he goes in about third quarter and he's like, you know what? I just feel like sitting out for a little bit. And then he comes back fourth quarter and you're like, dude, what? I just lost a whole quarter of you not playing. For real? But yeah, I mean, he could easily be the number 1 if he wasn't. He likes to get hurt, man, all the time. It's just.
Well, I mean, both him and C-Mac have a tendency to get hurt, so it's hard to down either one of them for that.
That's just 1 year though for C-Mac.
Yeah, one year for CMC.
It's every year for Dalvin. Every year. He's never finished a full year.
Before that? Oh, good sports. You took my turn.
Man, TD's gonna raise the freaking ADP on Gibson all on his own.
Damn.
Quit doing that.
Dang, over Kamara. Woo.
In that other league that we're in, you sniped me. You got the pick right before me. I think you're 10th and I'm 11th, or you're 9th and I'm 10th.
Yeah.
And you snatched him. I was gonna snatch Gibson with one of those 2 picks. And,
yeah. I know I couldn't leave him.
I picked Kelsey. It was whatever, either way.
Whatever.
But yeah, that one's tough. I see you drafted him in the first everywhere.
Yeah. And that's the only running back that I'm targeting in the first. Because, and this is what people said they didn't like him. He only had 33 carries. So I don't like drafting people and banking on them to stay healthy if they had a lot of carries. I think that's kind of playing prey football. Like, oh, well, please stay healthy. But Antonio Gibson, he has all the attributes to be healthy. He only had 33 carries in college. He only had 175, 180 last year. And so this year, I feel like he could go for 300 carries and he will be fine.
Yeah. They might not need him to, though, with as much as they get the short, maybe 300 touches. Just because I feel like he's going to get that. Going to get so many receptions.
I mean, he's got J.D. McKissick behind him too to take some of the third down work off too. So
yeah, that's true.
Receivers. Someone's going 0 RB.
You?
No. No. Man.
All right, for the podcast people, don't want to leave them out. So Christian McCaffrey went first. Dalvin Cook, Derrick Henry, Antonio Gibson went fourth, the highest I've ever seen him go. Travis Kelce at 5, Zeke at 6, Chubb at 7, Kamara 8, Barkley 9, Devontae Adams at 10. I took Najee Harris at 11, Tyreek Hill at 12. And then we've had 4 picks in the second round: Diggs, Eckler, Jonathan Taylor, and Aaron Jones. And now DK Metcalf.
I thought about going Aaron Jones, but I don't know how safe I felt, just doubling up on Green Bay Packers.
In the 1 QB league, KD kicking it off with Patrick Mahomes.
Hey, I had to. It was a shiny object, man. I had to. Y'all took care of it.
And there's going to be someone who does it. I mean, he may go in the first round of a couple random home leagues. Second, third round, I think that's where he's going to go no matter what.
Yeah, it was dangling like a carrot, man. I was like, no, don't do this to me. Not on the podcast, man. No.
Man, you must like carrots a lot more than I do.
I feel like there's a lot of special quarterbacks this year that you can get later.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with it though.
A lot of the skill position guys are starting to get a little old too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And running backs galore. So after DK, we had Mahomes go at the 2-6, and then Hopkins, Ridley, Terry McLaurin, Joe Mixon, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and AJ Brown. And man, TD, you're making sure to get your guys early. You ain't missing on them because McLaurin, I mean, I'm not saying that's early compared to the other guys who went, but he's usually going in the beginning of the third, mid-third.
Yep. I got sniped. So that next value for a player that I'm targeting was McLaurin. Like, I don't go with ADP and draft guys. I go with tiers. And that McLaurin fell in that tier, so I had to get him.
Definitely. I mean, what's that? 7th?
Yeah, I could have went tight. Yeah, I could have went tight end. I haven't got a lot of Waller. I mean, I think he's going to have a good season.
AJ Brown, that's that homer pick.
Yeah.
He's a beast. He's a beast, though.
Yeah.
And then I'll never get out of my head that play he had against the Ravens last year, the touchdown catch where he broke like 6 tackles trying to get in the end zone.
Yeah. Now explain the Dobbins pick compared to some of the other guys that are out there right now.
Well, I mean, all that really left is Swift, and I don't like Swift at all. I feel like Williams is going to take his job quick, and then,
you know what?
And then Josh Jacobs. I've never really been a big Josh Jacobs fan, so I mean, I valued Dobbins over what was available at the time.
I like Dobbins.
I like Dobbins too.
Everyone says, I mean, I was listening to Good Morning Football this morning, and Kay, she said that she would take Josh Jacobs over him. It just blows my mind. I don't know.
I thought about going double.
It just doesn't make sense.
I thought about going double receiver with Jefferson, but I wanted to get my second running back before the pickings got non-existent.
They're already getting slim, that's for sure. Top 3 tight ends off the board. Bogard went with Kittle. And then Pitts right back to back. KD ain't playing.
Oh, wait.
I look, if he's projected, he's going to get anywhere near where he's projected. I really like him. So, especially in the offense that he's in. They don't really have a super dominant run game. So he's gonna beast, especially because he's a red zone target. So
I tell people that if you look at Justin Jefferson and seeing his upside, then Kyle Pitts has every bit of that because they're gonna play the same position, even though Kyle Pitts has a tight end on his name.
Yeah, I've been trying to tell. Go ahead.
He's not gonna play tight end. He's gonna be one of those hybrid tight end wide receivers that occasionally lines up as a tight end, but I bet he lines up more outside than he does anything else.
I agree.
And what are they going to have to do? Like triple team him, like in the end zone with like 2 guys already grabbing him to the ground because like nobody's going to be able to jump with him. Like he's going to out hop everybody.
Yep, and then pass interference, Mike Davis fall in touchdown.
Yeah, I tell everybody. I mean, anybody who doubts Pitts because of being a rookie, tight end and blah blah blah. I just tell everybody you can't go into it looking at him like a tight end. You have to look at him like a big receiver.
Dang, Justin, that's the earliest I've ever seen you take a quarterback.
I like Josh Allen a lot, man.
Yeah, he's a beast, that's for sure. Only thing I don't like about him is you can't own any running backs from his team because he steals all their touchdowns.
Hey, true story. People don't realize that he has more rushing touchdowns than Lamar Jackson.
Who?
Josh Allen.
Yeah, he does. I like Josh. Dude, bet on the Bills this year. Bet on them to make it to the Super Bowl.
I don't know about that, man. I feel like if you take Stephon Diggs away, what do they got?
Dude, look how good Singletary already just started looking again. He's looking good. I think they have some talent. There's some hidden talent there too.
I'm not going to buy any extra Singletary hype off of preseason. I'll tell you that.
Me neither. But it does make me feel good because I got him on an orphan team.
Yeah.
Screw you, Krabby. I don't like you.
I think there's a lot of players on the Bills teams that look at Josh Allen for one. Like he was terrible year one, and he just slowly progressed as they worked with them. They have people working with their players.
There you go,
in a good way.
Yes, that's the thing. Listen, guys, there's a lot of guys' career that right now we think suck. If they would have went to different teams, they would be different. Like Pat Mahomes could have went to a different team, he wouldn't be Pat Mahomes.
Yep.
So it's coaching is very important.
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady. There we go. You already know. Like
I don't know about that one because hard work progresses.
I'm not saying it doesn't. I'm not saying he's not talented and doesn't outwork people because he's definitely not the most talented. He's like a Swiss Army knife. You know, he's good at a little bit of everything, not really great, at anything except work ethic. But I feel like if he wasn't on New England, blessed with all those defenses year after year and just put in the position to win. And I don't know how many other QBs could have been there and done it like him too, because he doesn't really make mistakes. So I guess that's the best thing that he really does.
That's the one thing I was going to tell you that separates him from everybody else. The smarts and then the in-game adjustments. That's the one thing he understands well. When a coach wants to make in-game adjustments, it's almost like it clicks for him like within a few seconds.
Yeah, I feel like he was a system quarterback and him and Belichick just clicked, and then I think a lot of this stuff rubbed off on Tom Brady, and he just learned how to be his own kind of person and learned how to be his own style of quarterback.
It didn't rub off. He took it to Tampa, bro. He said, Bruce Arians, come here, let me tell you something. And he told him the Patriot way.
And he had the best, and this was the best offense of his career, and might have been the best defense too. Like that's the thing that's crazy is offense and defense might have been better than any other offense or defense he ever had with the Patriots.
Tom Brady coached that defense. You don't think that playing a certain tempo helps the defense? And he learned that you don't leave your defense to hang out to dry by throwing downfield all the time and throwing a lot of interceptions and turnovers.
Oh yeah, they're deep at every level though. Like that's the thing about it. Like their defensive line ridiculous. Just with Sue, Jason Pierre-Paul, and I can't remember the other one off the top of my head right now. And
Shaq Barrett.
Yeah, there you go, Shaq Barrett. Jesus.
Come on, IDP guy, IDP man.
Yeah, and then Devin White and Levante David, and then you got Antoine Winfield, who, the juniors that are coming out, within these next few years and the ones that already came out, those guys are just going to beast as soon as they get to the NFL. Like you guys have already seen Surtain, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, a lot of the colleges are going more towards pro-ready offenses and defenses instead of running that West Coast stuff. So that's really helping a lot of the offensive guys be ready to play in the NFL.
Does anybody else think that watching that game last night that it was really ran almost like a college offense?
Yes, it was. I've seen that. Well,
everything was everything to me was like slant passes or really short passes or dink and dunk passes, and then there was occasion like long throw in, and it wasn't even that it was that long.
I agree with that. I think he was being vanilla. He didn't want to show his what he's going to be doing. I think he was being vanilla. I hope so.
Some of the calls were, I don't know, they were questionable.
That's my biggest worry about Urban Meyer is he going to be able to adjust to the NFL? Because you've seen Chip Kelly, he was a beast in college, but as soon as he came to the Eagles, man, he was trash.
Nick Saban.
Nick Saban.
He didn't have his right quarterback. If he could have had Michael Vick,
damn, I wanted that. Nice.
I think he would have been better. Big booty, Judy.
I want to back out and change my name.
I had to pause on. I couldn't give it all one homophone. I couldn't say big booty Judy. I had to say big booty,
big butt Judy.
Is Pete Carroll really the only college coach who's like translated?
There was
a couple. There was a couple they were talking about today. I can't remember, but there was like what about coaches Michigan now?
Oh yeah, Jim Harbaugh.
Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. There was another one too. I can't remember.
Yeah, but he flamed out pretty quick.
Yeah, but he didn't do too bad. It wasn't
they
terrible.
They ran him out of town.
They ran him out of town. That's what it was.
So I had a friend back in the day who actually played for Jim Harbaugh when he coached at like USD, University of San Diego, like way back in the day. And that was the first team that he ever coached collegiately. And like his goal was to run up the score like 100 to 0 like every single game. Like their goal, man, fuck you, Justin. I was about to pick him.
Sorry. That's Ben's boy. That's Ben's boy. He looks like Antonio Brown.
I was hoping he would have fall right there. But we were actually like hanging out and smoking during that game when remember when they had the drama where he like kind of like shook the coach's hand and kind of like pushed him aside, like type thing as he was, and everyone was like, oh, he probably wasn't doing that to, like just be mean to the other coach or whatever. And my friend who played on his team was like, man, he would probably try to push him harder. And, like he was probably like being a bitch to him. He's like, that's just
I love Jim Harbaugh. We need him in Dallas. We need that type of coach. We need a coach that'll talk shit to you. We can't win. Mike Carter, he played that role. But no, bro, like that's why I ain't been talking junk about my Cowboys, man. We don't got the right coach. We need a coach that talks shit because we got so many like great facilities and been spoiled. If you don't like talk shit, our players is gonna be like copacetic. They're not gonna really want to play because they in Dallas, Texas.
You hustler. That's who I was trying to pick and I accidentally picked Chase.
That's all right, dude. So everyone's talking bad about Jamar, but dude, the other day, Randy Moss, man, the legend, he was talking about him. He just said he's just in his own head. He's like, it'll just take a little time, dude. He didn't play. He was out for a whole year, and now he's transitioning into a completely different kind of like the NFL is a completely different system. Way better players. It's way different. And he was talking about you have to understand, what's catching like the separation and stuff. You got to be able to catch everything.
Yeah, I think for me, what it is with Chase, especially in a redraft league, I mean, if he doesn't come along for the first, couple games, like maybe he'll be Justin Jefferson, like he was last year. It took Jefferson like 4 games to come out, but it's just the risk you take. You're drafted Chase at his ceiling.
Maybe it's an LSU thing.
It took Jefferson playing the Titans for him to break out. Going for 160 yards or whatever it was and 3 touchdowns.
He's so good. I'm so happy. Thielen's awesome. I mean, it just sucks that we have Kirk Cousins, man. You know how much I hate Kirk Cousins. Oh my god, it's so terrible. When I first got the news, it's like 90 million for 3 years. I laughed. So hard.
What's sad is Kirk Cousins outlasted RG3.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he was the way better pick, drafted in the 7th round or 6th round, whatever it was.
I think it was 4th round, right?
I'm gonna go back and check.
Cousins outlasted RG3 and Andrew Luck.
Kirk, man, oh my god. He blames his receivers for not getting open. Our line does suck. But you got to make some decisions. Throw it away. If you know you're going to get hit, throw it away. All the time, man. He'll hold the ball so long. I feel like he holds it just forever.
He's on auto draft. That's why he picked ETN.
So actually, he was drafted 102nd overall. So what round is that? Is that in the 4th?
That sounds like a 4th rounder. No, 32. Yeah, 4th. What's 3?
That's why we keep you around, TD. You're all over that kind of stuff.
What was it? What round? Or what pick?
102.
Oh, yeah, it would be a 3rd, I think. 3rd round.
who took ETN, the auto drafting team. I don't know what the hell happened. Got in here, flaked on the draft.
He was in here too, right?
No, he hasn't been live the whole time.
Oh, I swore I saw all the green dots before we started.
No, his never turned green. Ace 2114, whatever his name is.
Damn, I hate auto picks right before my turn.
Yeah, me too.
Dude, I tried that. What's that new that underdog? I tried that and it was just super. Right? Yeah, it was just super weird because there was somebody who just didn't jump in, and like every person that I was like targeting, it was like that's who kind of fell to them every time. And I'm like, no, how is this happening? The guy who's auto drafting every single time, it would end up picking person I wanted. I'm like, he would not have picked him. I was like, he would have picked an RB.
The people that's winning $1 million might be auto drafting.
Yeah, you're right. That would have been my team.
That
would have been my team because those are the players I wanted.
Off of DraftKings or anything like that, and I spend all kinds of time on it.
I think the best I've done, I played in one of those Harris. What's his name? Chris Harris, I think. Is that his name? Christopher Harris.
Wow. The cornerback?
No.
Oh.
He has a podcast. I mean, he was a analyst for some big companies for a while. I don't know. I don't really listen to his podcast anymore, but I would jump into some of his leagues, and it was like or Pat Mayo. I think I did a league for Pat Mayo. You know who Pat Mayo is?
Yes.
Yeah. I think I finished like top. I think 9th in that one. I think it's like 500 something people. But there's like you just jump in them. You have to like jump in them quick.
So KD,
that was last year.
Explain your Tampa Bay defense pick here.
All right. So I was looking at the what their turnover ratio was. I just feel they're gonna be better if what's his name doesn't get hurt. If he doesn't get hurt for most of the season, I think they can possibly increase that particular output. The other thing is now they're kind of believing in themselves. Shaq Barrett and all those guys kind of took pay cuts to come back. So it's kind of like, hey, it'll be egg on their face if they don't put up this year. Even if they don't win the Super Bowl, I just think they're going to be a little bit better. I don't know about the offense, but I know their defense should.
I think that was kind of risky, but.
Damn! Come on, JC.
That was kind of risky, but.
Yes.
Ooh, I'm going with. Hopefully, you guys saw the video, but I'm going with Sir Purr, Robbie Anderson.
Dude, that's so funny. He's like, what? You call him what?
I'm
not calling him that.
I'm a big Anderson fan.
I'm not. He's like, I'm not calling him that. Dude, I think, you know what? When Michael Thomas does come back, now that Callaway's looking like a beast,
yeah,
he might take a little bit of the heat off of him. I don't know. It's a risky pick, but as my third wide receiver, I'll be all right with that.
It just depends on it just depends on when he comes back.
I don't even care. Fourth, if it's week 4 or 5.
Okay.
All I need, it's great for a nice push to the playoffs.
Go Vols, baby, Mr. Callaway.
And one thing that I was going to say about the Bucks D before we got off of that, usually, these top-ranked defenses, they're usually not bringing back all 11 starters. So yeah, that's for sure. Like one of the reasons why they could compete. They got one of the top defenses again. So as long as they don't get injured, yeah, they're going to be good. And here you go, TD. Explain the reasoning for Gibson at 4, please.
Okay, so remember what everybody said, the reason why he wasn't going to be a good running back last year? He only had 33 carries. 33 carries. Exactly. That's what I want. I want a bell cow to have 33 carries. I don't want Dalvin Cook with what? Over 1,000 carries on him? Derrick Henry over 1,000 carries? CMC right at 1,000 carries? I don't want to take that risk with a running back getting hurt. So if Gibson go down, I'm fine with that. I can rebound, but I'm not taking. That's the guy that I'm targeting in the first round because he's young and he's a stud, and I can ride him out. So I feel safe with him being healthy majority of the games for me.
So who would you take over Gibson?
No running back I'm taking over Gibson.
So you're taking Gibson at 101. If you have
No, I'm not taking him at 101. If I can't trade the 101, I will take CMC for an auto pick. That's what I call it, an auto pick, because I got to take. I'm not going to take Tyreek Hill there. You know, I'm a 0 RB, but I got to go RB right there. So I get that.
So where would you put in the 0 RB strategy? What pick? Like 6th pick, 7th pick? How far down does it go before you put that into play?
I say 6, 7, but if you are expert, you can go 3 and 4. You can go from 3 and do it. You can get Tyreek Hill or Devontae Adams at 3 and make it work. But to be more safe, I say 6 or 7. That's why I would try to do it if this is my first time doing it.
Yeah, and even if we're looking at the draft board right now, it's the number 8 pick who had the opportunity to get the number 4 wide receiver. Everybody else, like, yeah, you took McLaurin at number 7. So yeah, it seems like 6 and 7, you might be able to get, one of those top 5 wide receivers there. But yeah, you start pushing it to the 8, 9. That's where I'd be considering it too.
Yep.
Yeah, I like your Najee pick there. He looked. You said don't get hyped about preseason, but him and Ben looked kind of on.
The only thing that worries me about Najee is that offensive line. The offensive line is atrocious.
I really think he's going to do Saquon things, like in Saquon's rookie year.
Have an awkward fall and break his arm.
He didn't do that in his rookie year. Come on.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, Saquon was a beast in his rookie year.
Oh, good sports. Screw you, dude. Come on.
Nice pick on Gesicki. I feel like he's my number 5 after Pitts.
Yeah,
he is.
I was thinking about him too there. At my last pick, but
and to get him in what, the 8th round?
I just feel that upside is going to be there. Like Mark Andrews, he could go for double-digit touchdowns, but I don't think his yardage is going to be there. I'm not as hyped on everybody as Hawkinson is, but that's not too bad there in the 6th. But I really think Gesicki can go over 1,000 and over 10 touchdowns just because who is going to feed him.
I think Gesicki is going to be better than Hawkinson.
Me too.
Oh, Devin, he took him.
Singletary at what pick? The 8-12?
It's a little soon, buddy.
Sorry, podcast people. I'm not doing a good job of reading everything out, but make sure you get over to YouTube so you can see the whole graphic and everything. See everything how it broke down. And Chris said I'm at the number 5 pick in one league. I'm so torn on who to take based on the others. CMC, Cook, Zeke, and Henry are going to be gone. I mean,
After that, you have to do Kamara.
Well, he would say go Antonio Gibson, right?
That's what TD would say for sure. I mean, I'm of the mindset that I could take Barkley there, Kamara, Chubb, or Zeke. Any of those guys are really good at that pick, and I'd even mix Kelsey into there. If it's a 10-team league or less, I'm probably taking Kelsey.
And what kind of league is it? Is it PPR or is it standard or half PPR?
Yeah, you got to tell us, Chris. PPR league, how many teams in the league? Look at Corey. Why do you guys hate Kamara? Is this a non-PPR league or something? Nope. We're doing it all based on PPR. I've seen Kamara go 2nd in a draft, and I've seen him go in the top of the 2nd round in a draft. So I think it just depends on the league.
But you also got to look at too. The offense is going to change. Not having Breeze around, they're not going to be as quick on the draw as him to get the ball to him.
But we'll see. We haven't really seen Kamara in that offense yet, really, with Jameis.
And going to Zeke, if the reports are true about Dak possibly not playing this year at all, then I would have a hard time taking Zeke because they're just going to stack the box and basically remove him from the game.
Terrorist, man.
I've seen a lot of someone sniped you. KD,
he's my dude. Dude, I have him ranked over Smith. I have a bet on it, dude. Devonta Smith. I have him ranked over Devonta Smith this year, being the better wide receiver.
Oh,
I think he's going to be good.
What do you think about that, KD?
Yeah, I'm with you. Partly because of the boy Samuel left in Carolina. I just think Marshall is kind of like a plug and play type of guy. Not saying he's going to give you the same thing Samuel gave you, but he's definitely going to be productive. So
He's big, dude, and he catches a lot. He catches everything,
yeah.
and he's fast.
I don't know if he catch everything. He don't catch everything. His hands he's needed to work on his hands, but I'm not worried about it. I think he's gonna be fine. But he doesn't have great hands. He got like C+, C- hands right now.
The reports coming out of camp right now, I mean, they're just going goo over him right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's gonna be a solid player. I think he can have 800-900 receiving, and he can have 7-8 touchdowns. He can be a great red zone target guy. I don't know how much they're gonna use him around there, but he's bigger, so I think they would use him around there.
I mean, if they go off of anything he did at LSU, they got to know, like, hey, look, over the middle and in the red zone, he can definitely get you what you need. And it's like you said, his hands is not the best, but he doesn't have the best speed either. That's the other thing about it.
Mm-hmm.
But if you let him get to his spot, he can definitely kill you.
Yes.
Yeah, I was thinking I couldn't go. I mean, I already have Josh Jacobs. I'm not going to pick them both. Kenyon Drake.
Yeah, you should. I mean, I think that there's going to be some games where Kenyon Drake might be the one.
Oh, I agree. I 100% agree. I agree, but
you just don't want the headache of having to pick who it is.
I don't feel like it's not like Chubb and Kareem. I think Kareem's an easy flex every week. So, I mean, having him as my number 3 is all right. I mean, I could at least put him in if they'll at least put up 10 to 15 points.
Chubb gets all the yards, and Kareem gets the touchdown pass into the end zone.
As long as Chubb keeps racking up those yards, and boy, did he last year. But yeah, that does suck when if you don't have Kareem Hunt in any leagues. But I usually have more Kareem Hunt than Chubb, so you do like getting.
I forget what game it was. Was it against Pittsburgh last year where Chubb got him down to the goal line 3 different times, and they threw the ball into. They threw the ball into Kareem all 3 times.
Just vultured him.
Sorry, I took Tannehill.
That's cool. Yeah, even in these 1 QB leagues, I just always assume I'm going to get like 2 players in the top like 16 somewhere.
I mean, you should be able to pick any week that somebody's going to be weak and play them and feel comfortable. I feel this is late enough to grab another one. I've been screwed by quarterbacks where they at least, somebody goes down, and at least it's nice to have somebody.
That's for sure. In a real 1 QB league, I try to so I'm not going to do it in the mock draft, but depending on how many bench spots, I really try to get 3 QBs just because you never know what's going to happen. If you already have one of those guys, it's just going to make things a lot nicer.
You know what? Sometimes even in a keeper league, if you can keep somebody, because like some of these rookie quarterbacks, somebody will just go off, and then they'll be like, the next year they'll be getting picked, in the 3rd round, like or 2nd round, like Mahomes. It happens. Like Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, so you drafted them when they were rookie or when they were the first year that they played. Yeah, that's money in the bank. Double-digit picks.
Eminem, me and you gonna have a talk, buddy.
That's Bogart. Give me money.
Yeah, Bogart. He's a beast.
Got you.
That was another guy that went to my favorite college team that was so underutilized it was criminal. Even almost to the same point as Kamara.
Callaway.
I'm surprised Bogart hasn't given me shit tonight.
What up, Frank? It said I like Williams as a cuff for Swift. Yeah, this year that boy fragile. I think that Williams. I mean, he might be the hot hand. They said they're going to ride the hot hand a little bit, and Swift has been hurt like all preseason.
Trevor auto pick. He must have not been watching the game last night. I'm just kidding.
Man, good sports. You trying to get that kicker early. You didn't want nobody to get your coup.
Nope. You got to be the first. Hey, I treat my positions like I do my women. I want to be the first in there.
I don't think that coup produces what he did last year. I could be wrong. I guess I just saw him fail for so long in San Diego and do that little trick backflip, kick or whatever. Like, I don't know. Maybe he has it, but I think Atlanta as a whole just takes a step back, including him.
Maybe the new coach there brought the kicking coach from the Tennessee Titans, help him out some. That dude's a beast.
God, Terrace Marshall, you son of a.
I was AJ Brown was lobbying for the Titans to pick Elijah Moore. I wanted him so bad, but you know how they are.
That's what sold me. If a guy like AJ Brown, that's a top echelon type athlete, say another guy is a better route runner and a better receiver than him, you got to listen to those players. That's why I like. Listen, guys, and I'm giving y'all this right now. Elijah Moore is the Justin Jefferson of last year.
Yeah, but nobody wants to trade him.
Is he going to be the number 2 behind Corey Davis right away?
Yes, he's going to be the big play receiver for them. And I like the way, I talked about Zach Wilson before everybody. And look how he's playing now, Hustler. You remember I told you that I like Wilson over all those quarterbacks. Yep. Even Trey Lance is great athletic ability, but I like the way he played the game. He reminds me of Pat Mahomes. So I think Elijah's going to have some big plays. He might not have 1,000 yards, but I think he can have a big play. He can have a big play a game.
Oh yeah, Zach Wilson. I mean, he was one of those guys who I really liked. I mean, just the more tape you watch on him, the more that you just see Pat Mahomes-ish. We'll say that. I want to see him do it a couple games in the NFL. I will make the comparison.
Yeah, I got you.
I like how he gets outside the pocket and makes those unconventional throws, though. Like, that makes a difference these days.
It does.
Is that too soon for Christian McCaffrey's backup?
No, I was going to take him the next round.
Yes and no. In real life, no. I think Chuba Hubbard is going to have a nice role, but in fantasy, you probably could have waited 4 more rounds and got him.
I don't know. You just heard he was going to come. He wasn't going to. I mean,
maybe not, because look, I mean, who's that? Xavier Jones or whatever going?
Yeah, he went
a little bit earlier. He
at least Chuba. I mean, Chuba flashed. I mean, it's preseason. You keep saying that, but I mean,
no, he looks damn good.
He looks good in the system.
He does.
He was one of my favorite running backs coming out. I mean, there's not too many people that were really running it, north and south like him and cracking 2,000, and just like completely dominating. They have to figure out a way to get him involved, because you can split McCaffrey out so easy and pull him behind. Like, I'm not saying he's going to cut into McCaffrey's work or anything, but I just feel like he's going to be too good to just leave on.
I mean, if you look at the OC for the Panthers, when he was with LSU, he had Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and he was splitting Helaire out and doing all kinds of crazy stuff with him. I mean, I think that's definitely in the cards.
Yeah. So I'm sorry, guys. I just see this in the chat. Radical Ed, yes. I know a lot of people don't like IU. I love IU. IU, to me, was one of the best young receivers out there. Now, he didn't play in the offense that Justin Jefferson did, but I like IU ability just as good as Justin Jefferson. So yes, IU on this offense, Debo, I feel like will fade down a little bit. They'll run some gadget plays for him, but the receiver that's going to run the professional routes on this offense, the nines and the double post, is IU. So I love IU this year to finish as a top 12 receiver.
As long as he can keep a healthy quarterback.
And he gonna have one. He got two really good ones.
And we got 4 defenses off the board and 1 kicker already. I'm not even going to draft a kicker. I refuse. In any league that I have, I don't even draft a kicker.
Come on, Hustler. Draft the kicker.
No way. See what I mean? What I'll do, I'll just pick up, an extra wide receiver, an extra running back, and figure out how to, just pick up a running back right before the week starts.
I mean, that's how. Whenever I'm in a league that's got a kicker, I hardly ever keep the same kicker on a week-to-week basis. It's all matchup based.
Yeah. Last year I was only in 2 leagues that had kickers, and someone drafted Koo. And then someone dropped him for his bye week just because we have like no bench in that league, like 5 spots. And I hate kickers. I picked him up the week early just to make sure as soon as waivers cleared. And that was the only time it was awesome to have a kicker was Koo. But I don't think he's going to do it again this year. So I'm not buying into that hype. But it was fun the second half of the season, literally never having to worry about a kicker. So fuck kickers, though. Get them out of every league. Just get them out. T.Y. Hilton, I'm kind of getting a little bit back on that train now that Carson Wentz is he's going to come back.
Ramadre.
Yeah. He's so good. He's an injury away from being, a really boss running back on that team. And
well, I've seen a stat today. I think it's for the first 2 preseason games for the Patriots. They've had between the 3 running backs 346 rushing yards in two preseason games.
Yeah, and most of it was him. Like he had wasn't one of them like 70 yards?
It was a 72-yard touchdown.
Yeah, 72 right there. And I know he had another big one too, or at least I think he did.
Which is crazy because everybody wants to say that he doesn't have that breakaway speed and stuff like that. But they said a lot of the same stuff about Derrick Henry when he was coming out. But, I mean, those guys find an extra gear when they're out in the open like that.
Yeah. What up, Guccini? Said my guy A. Gibson at 4th overall.
Oh, lots of eyes.
Oh, yeah. What Bogart say here with Kyle Pitt there in Atlanta? She didn't have a red zone problem. They did in the past couple years. Yeah, that's for sure. That's why the kicker was going off in fantasy. There you go. Great point. Great point. I like that. I'm going to steal that from you, Bogart, too. Definitely.
Bogart's fixing to get auto pick. Oh, never mind.
Was Coos kicking long field goals last year?
He did. Yeah.
That's what got me. Like, if you ran because those 5, I got him in the Scott Fish Bowl, and I feel like if he can kick 2 50-yard field goals for me in a game,
yeah,
I take that on a week that I might need 10 points.
Yeah, but will you be able to guess which weeks those are? I guess it depends if you get that desperate or not.
There you go. Because I might not need it on some weeks.
Yeah. That's what is cool about the Scott Fish Bowl. You have a choice of playing kickers. So me saying fuck kickers, I'm just never going to do
it. So he struggled. I didn't know that he struggled in San Diego.
Oh, he was horrible in San Diego.
Yeah, he did terrible in San Diego.
Where did he come from? What college he come from?
I don't even remember. Let me go.
Who is it?
Koo. Young Hoo Koo.
Yeah, where did Koo come from?
Young Way, Koo.
Yeah, but it's spelled like Young Ho. All right, let's see. Where was his college?
I seen one the other day as an Olympic guy. I think he was Korean. His first name was Kim. His second name was Yo. And his third name was SUK.
Georgia Southern Eagles.
Okay.
Yeah, most of the good kickers come from no-name schools.
Gotcha.
His claim to fame was doing was a YouTube video with him doing a kick and he kicked it and extended his kick and did a backflip, all in one. Maybe I'll see if I can pull that up on YouTube.
Yeah, he was 3 for 6 in San Diego, 50% kicking.
Yeah.
Or the Chargers. I'm sorry.
Well, that was when he was with
He was
the
at
Chargers
LA.
when they were in San Diego.
Yeah.
Guys, I think Tua gonna show out this year. I knew it. He's a hard worker. He's getting that timing down, and he got it. He's gonna have a good year this year. He's gonna throw for 30+ touchdowns, low interceptions. Miami gonna be really good, and they're gonna push New England. They're going to the playoffs.
I'd be interested in seeing how long it takes for Mac Jones to unseat Cam Newton, because that would change my win total for the Patriots drastically.
Yeah, for sure. Oh yeah, check this out. So John, he's the one who drafted Kamara in the first round, and so John's on Patreon, and we were talking about his draft, and he told me that AJ Green went in the first round of his draft last night.
Dang.
He said it's a money league too. So
somebody first time playing.
They got name. They got booty blonde.
But.
JC Money, hey man, come on, bro. How you gonna make that pick, bro?
Well, you don't like that? Or you like it a lot?
I love it.
He's the number one. Why not? It's so
Thank
late.
you.
I have a
He
number one
is.
receiver, dude. So
He
late.
is.
Come on now.
But Amon-Ra St. Brown might get more targets though. That's the thing.
okay.
Even though he's the number one, yeah,
I don't mind having somebody that's consistent that can put in at a number 3, right?
exactly.
And you know who I like, who I just picked up, because I'm going higher upside, even though Tyrell Williams, is going to be the number one in Detroit. I mean, that's going to be like being the skinny kid at fat camp, if we're just like, that's just how I see it, just with that offense.
Those other receivers, the receivers, and for the Rams, they ate.
I mean, we shall see. We shall see. But I think I went with Emmanuel Sanders. Josh Allen's already talking him up. That Emmanuel Sanders is looking good at camp. I mean, we know that he's already the number 2 there. And Gabriel Davis, and he's going to be the number 3. And then it seems like Cole Beasley, he's going to be that slot guy and number 4-ish. But yeah, I'm liking Emmanuel Sanders where you can get him super late.
That's why
he probably got the safest floor of all receivers, maybe.
Well, I was going to take him for the stack with Josh Allen.
I think they run Sanders out of the slot a lot too.
They probably do. You're probably right.
Yeah,
So
I wanted Sanders
because his most productive years has been out of the slot.
Would have been nice for the Josh Allen stack. That was my stack. I was waiting late for him. I figured he'd fall. Nice pick.
Nice, gotcha. Hey, KD, what do you think about Murray this year? I think that coming out of the gates, he really could get a lot of touches. Him and Kamara just right out the gates.
Like I was saying earlier about them not being able to get it to him quick, I think they're going to have to soften up the defense a lot more than what they're thinking to kind of catch them slipping with Kamara, because teams are going to basically kind of plan for it now because they know they have, I wouldn't say these guys are unproven, but they're not as quick as Drew Brees is when it comes down to identifying pre-snap, the blitz, and so forth, and being able to get it to him. So I think with that being said, I think Latavius Murray is going to have to be included in the game plan a little bit earlier and often more than they're thinking right now.
Yeah, I hope so. I drafted ETN as my number 2 running back. I kind of went 0 RB, and Murray is my next best running back that I have on the team. So, especially right out the gates, I need him to be involved really heavily.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be interesting.
Murray's really good at vulturing those touchdowns too.
Oh yeah. All right, and finally made it, making his surprise entrance here, the degenerate himself, my co-host on a bunch of shows here, Bogard Scott Free.
Well, yes.
Sound.
There he is.
He's on mute.
You got your mic stand yet, Bogart?
He's on mute. He's in the matrix.
Don't forget his pick. Tell him don't forget his pick.
Oh yeah, don't time out. Oh, he might have. I know he has. He doesn't have good reception in there, so he probably just put in his. He put in his cue. And I was just living dangerously and having fun on the QB position to see who I could get if I just extremely punted the position.
Yeah, I do that a lot.
Because you never know. I mean, there's some leagues where you could literally draft a QB with your last pick.
And he hit, and he'd be a top 15 QB or top 12 QB for you. Yes.
Yeah, I'm not going to draft a kicker or a defense here. I know that some leagues you're forced to do that. But if I don't have to, I'm probably not going to, and I'll just play the streaming game.
Yep.
Yeah, draft late everything. Unless you get, I mean, I kind of wanted Washington, but, after they fell, I was like, all right, I'll wait on that. I kind of like Washington a lot this year, so. Let's
see if he's out of the matrix.
I like the Cardinals defense this year.
Nope, he's still muted.
Can't hear you, Bogart. And you're not muted either. You might have to jump out and jump back in. Is that an auto pick, KD? And KD's on mute too. This
got me, man. I didn't want to pick. Shucks.
Panic pick.
I want to take him, man. Shucks.
Uh-oh, and there goes Steven.
I'll take my tight end now. You know who I wanted? TD.
Who?
Pat
Farmer?
Yeah.
Yeah, hey, that's why I don't wait. I know a lot of people don't like try to follow ADP, but that's how you get sniped.
That's all right. I mean, I'm fine with Cole Kmet. I think he'll be all right.
I do too.
Just stream.
I think Ebron gets cut. Am I wrong, JC? Do they cut Ebron this year?
I don't know, but it doesn't matter. Freiermuth looked pretty good.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I feel like he can do everything that Ebron do, and he's a better blocker. I think they cut him. I
think somebody in here earlier was talking shit about it's just getting hyped about preseason, but I mean when you see flashes from rookies like that, I get kind of a little excited. Especially some of the top are big. I mean, so then you don't get excited about Najee Harris. Oh, he flashed, so he's not going to be good. I mean, it's preseason, but I feel like.
All right, so I made sure to my last pick here. I made sure to draft Darrington Evans so I could plant my flag right now. I really think that he's going to get in there, get mixed in the slot. I just feel like they're going to pull back Derrick Henry a little bit, even if it's not that much. I just don't think he's going to be 100%, of the carries. And Darrington Evans, I mean, before he got hurt, he was doing real good in camp, and I know they like him coming out of the backfield.
I don't know. The guy that they brought in this year, Sargent, he's running really hard. I don't know. I hope Evans can hold him off, but the way that guy's running, Vrabel really likes the way he was running. So it's going to be tough for him to stay.
It doesn't matter. You're going to have to drop 2 people anyways.
Yeah.
Before the season starts.
Yeah.
Unless you want to play without defense and kicker. I'll play you the first week. It doesn't matter. I mean, defense can lose.
No. I was talking about Darrington Evans on the Titans team as a whole.
Yeah.
Yo, can you hear me?
There we go.
Yes. Okay.
Bogard.
What's up, man? How y'all doing?
Good.
What's up, Bogard?
Doing good.
Hey, you got to make my last pick. I know what defense I want, though. It's a defense that everyone should stream week 1.
It already did it. You already got auto picked.
Okay, well, I would have took the Broncos because the Broncos are gonna get in Danny Dimes' ass week 1.
That's who I took, buddy.
So they
Good
got
shit.
snatched.
Yeah.
Okay, he got it right. You got it right, JC Money.
Yeah.
You picked up the Browns,
I feel like it'll be
Bogart.
all right.
Hey, that's good enough. You know what I mean? It's
Streaming,
only
baby.
Patrick Mahomes. It's only Patrick Mahomes week 1. You know what I mean? I tried something new though. I want the early. Yeah, we streaming kickers and defenses. If there is a kicker and team defenses, like don't get married to those. That's like fantasy football 101. Like I mean, no. Hey, shout out to Buddy right here. He pulled up the Buccaneers. You know what I mean? Like I was like, he's got to be a Buccaneers fan then. I'm like, because that was like, or like he was just uniform filling out his lineup. Because I was like, you could have waited like way later. But you know what? I think that was the theme of this whole draft. It was like really unorthodox to like the uniform fantasy nerd shit that we're used to. You know what I mean? This actually simulates more of like a home draft for real. Like my home drafts be like this sometimes. Most of the time.
Yeah,
defense
this
is going
the
early.
first year. This is the first year that I've done a draft that wasn't like this. I've always done drafts like this.
These ones just get boring for me, but we got to give back to the people, and I know everyone plays in leagues like this, so
yeah, I got my home league. I got my home league draft this weekend. My brother-in-law's league. We go golf in the morning, then we barbecue, and then we draft. It's all live.
Oh man, that sounds awesome.
Oh yeah,
that's dope. I like going golfing and eating mushrooms. That's my shit.
That sounds fun, dude. I just smoke a joint or whatever, but that sounds even more fun.
I like going golfing and pulling pranks on people.
Listen, I almost want to know. You got to tell me one of these pranks. Give me a prank story.
Have you ever done the exploding golf balls?
Nah. How do I do this?
You sell them at the store, or they sell them at the store. They're in the golf section. But anyways, we brought a buddy with us, and we always played this golf course at least twice a week. And there's this one hole that went over water, and it was guaranteed that he was going to hit the first 3 balls in the water. And so we let him hit his first 3 balls, and by that time he was cussing, he was throwing stuff, and was like, "Here, try this ball." So he caught it,
super straight.
He caught it, put it on the tee, lined it up, got all ready, did a little bounce, swung. Man, he knocked the crap out of that ball, and it just blew white dust everywhere. And the way the ball was going, it was a perfect hit too. It would have been a great right at the hole. And
nice.
And there's some guys the next hole over was like, "Woo, those exploding balls get you every time."
All right, we got a request in here. It says, "Please rate my team." So that's Trading for Hobby. What up, bro? And so he started off with Kelsey, Ridley, David Montgomery, Kyler Murray, Darrell Henderson, Trey Sermon, Jerry Jeudy, Ronald Jones, Jarvis Landry, the Rams, Mecole Hardman. Who's that? Is that David Johnson, Baker Mayfield, Ito Smith. I keep calling him Ito Smith. Irv Smith, Tyler Bass, and then Jalen Reagor.
That's Ito Smith's actual big brother. That's why.
Is it really? For real?
No, it's not.
All right, but your version was better.
My version.
I like it. I like that.
Right.
Yeah. But you don't want to be called Ito Smith.
I'm gonna give him a C-. I mean, he has a very balanced team, but like outside of Calvin Ridley, that's the only top 5 guy at the position that I could say he has. And Kelsey. I'm sorry.
And Kyler Murray.
He's got Kyler Murray too.
Oh yeah. Outside of
Kyler Murray, that's your number one.
Yeah, Kyler Murray. What's his name? Travis Kelce and Calvin Ridley. Those are his best pieces. Everything else he has isn't bad. I'm just saying they're like the next tier down. You know what I mean? On in every position.
I think he has a strong playoff team if you can make it to the playoffs. You have Trey Sermon, you have Jerry Jeudy. These guys they really good players, but they might not start off well. So you might have to work into the playoffs. But if you get in the playoffs and Darrell Henderson is healthy and Jerry Jeudy gets going and Ronald Jones has you some good games where you are playing them, I think you could be a top tier team. But you have to make it to the playoffs first.
You know what's crazy is he actually sniped me a couple times. Like I wanted to get Darrell Henderson there. You know what I mean? So I ended up settling for Gaskin. You know what I mean? There was a couple of things where I was like, okay. So I am a fan of a lot of the players he has. But going back to your point where Darrell Henderson making it through 17 weeks, I mean, he's already dinged up right now. So, you know what I mean? Like, we might see some Xavier Jones action or we want the funk, is you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I mean, there's all kind of hype right now, but it's really going to be Darrell Henderson. And it'll be funny if they bring in someone like maybe they trade for who's out there? Maybe they trade for a Latavius Murray for real. I could see them doing some shit like that, like something real cheap. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because other than that.
Yeah. If Dallas don't start off strong, I know people don't want to talk about this. If Dallas don't start off strong, we might trade Zeke.
I don't see that happening. That's crazy.
So Zeke is not playing good. We're gonna keep paying him 40. Go ahead.
Here's the thing. Nobody's taking that contract.
Yeah,
that's why.
Okay.
And he's got thousands and thousands of yards of mileage on him. You know what I mean? So like he's been carrying the load. And I'd say last year he didn't even have a bad year statistically. He just didn't give us a spoiled year. Like we're used to being spoiled by Zeke. I have Zeke coming in at 3 on my board. So when I was in the first round, I'm like, I have Zeke over Kamara. Boom. Like I just compartmentalize things like that. You know what I mean? I think Zeke will produce more than Kamara. I think they're going to stack the box a ton on Kamara. Okay. And meanwhile, Zeke has a trio of receivers to take the top off. I think we're going to have a big resurgence of us getting spoiled by Zeke again. You know what I mean? Like he's a top 5 finisher.
But Bogard, what about Dak though? Dak his arm is not right.
It's even better for Zeke. That means we finna lean on Zeke. And you have a bad defense. Listen, the Cowboys got a trash defense. I know Dan Quinn's probably a better defensive coordinator than he is a head coach. So I would fully expect for that defense to be marginally better. But I still think they have young pieces in their secondary. They're going to give up a ton of points. In order to keep your defense fresh and to mask the fact that you have a bad defense, you're going to have to own time of possession. How you do that? You do that on the ground. Okay. So I think we're going to see a lot of Zeke and that offensive line. I'm not watching Hard Knocks, so I don't get hyped, but I've seen some clips and they all look shredded. And as long as they look healthy, because that offensive line goes, so does Zeke and so does Dak.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
What about Tony Pollard? I think Tony Pollard will be involved a little bit too.
I 100% agree. 100% agree because how are you going to stretch out
the shoulder?
Yeah, but how are you going to stretch out to 17 games? You're going to need. You're going to need Tony Pollard involved somewhere or another, and more than we expect. Because how are you going to withstand 17 weeks of running Zeke like crazy? You're going to have. We're going to see all kind of load management with these bell cow running backs all over the league. It's just this is going to be a thing. You know what I mean?
Yep, for sure.
Yeah, I agree with that, especially towards the end. Most of the games being divisional games when it comes down to seeding and stuff like that in the division.
I like Tony P, man. Tony P is like, that's a guy I would have if I don't even have Zeke. You know what I mean? Like, because
I don't know why they don't. Yeah, I don't know why they don't use him like more like Kareem Hunt. Like he catches the ball really well. Here's
the thing too. They were at the with the games with Dak last year, they were top 5 in pace of play. So they run a ton of plays on offense. You know what I mean? Like they're not like the Patriots who are like at the bottom 3 of the pace of play where they're just grinding out slow eating clock. You know what I mean? Like they're actually moving fast paced as fuck with Kellen Moore ever since he started calling the plays a couple years ago. So there's going to be enough targets to go around for all the receivers and enough volume on the ground for Zeke. So it's a rare occasion, but this is one of those occasions. You know what I mean?
And Chicago Fergie, thanks for joining in from Twitch. Which team is yours so we can break it down? And we'll get it. There's a couple other people who asked us to break theirs down. So we're just going to go through a few here. Probably go through all of these real quick. Who is the other one who asked? Oh, here we go. Chris. So what's going on, guys? Great draft. What do you think of my team? Number 2.
What, number 2? Das Chris.
Yep. A lot of wide receivers there. I probably would have passed on CEH there personally.
Yep.
Why?
I would take Dobbins over him. It's just me.
If you were to simulate what it is right now with the injury, I probably would have passed on him for a Dobbins as well.
Well, they're saying it's. I mean, they say. I mean, it didn't.
He has a.
It'll come back. We never know.
From what I read, it's an inside ankle sprain, and that's all I heard. But I remember Michael Thomas had an inside ankle sprain last year, and he missed a ton of time. So, you know what I mean? Like, that's just, duly note that.
I think they're saying that
I'm not a big fan of
news
Debo
is
either.
looking better, looking good. The news is looking good. They said it's trending up.
Okay.
So I think they said that it's kind of a miss on the injury.
Okay, so we might actually get him at value then instead of, he might be like, he might fall further into the 3rd round because he's usually in the 2-3 turnaround on the 2 side. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I like Dobbins. I like Gus Edwards too, but I really like Dobbins.
I like Dobbins being that 4th round value though. I love him in the 4th round. Him or Montgomery.
I think he's gonna eat a lot more than people think. I think he is. They're gonna unleash him. Why wouldn't you? Especially in the end zone.
I mean, they already did it.
He loves the end zone.
Yeah.
I think they'll scale Lamar Jackson back a little bit.
They should to keep him healthy.
Losing him to injury, and they should do that.
Why not?
I'm gonna give his team a C. You know what I mean? I mean, like he's got a PPR team. It's just hella receivers, so like that'll compensate for like because I don't really like some of his running back depth, but I get it though. You know what I mean? Like he it looks like he went for his guys every time.
I'm glad I didn't get Bogard as a high school teacher. I'd have failed.
It's a lot of upside players.
I like it.
Players.
I like this team. I think you got a playoff team. I think you a 6 or 5 seed in a 12-team league with 6 people going to the playoffs. I think I like Jalen Hurts. I think he's going to be good for you. Dalvin Cook, if he stays healthy. Clyde, if Clyde can come back and he's healthy, I like that. Tyler Lockett, because of that offense, I feel like he's going to get some value. You know, they got the new Rams, one of their offensive coordinators, so they're going to be putting the ball in the air. Debo, you went there. That's fine. He's okay. Cooks, I love Cooks. He's the number 1 there, and Corey Davis is like the number 1A there at Jets, and we have to wait and see. He may be the clear-out number 1, but I like your team, man. I think you got a playoff team. I would have done a little bit different, but if that's what you like, I respect it.
I for sure wouldn't have drafted Fitzpatrick at the end. There's no reason for it.
Yeah.
At least you grab somebody that you think it has upside as a a running back or a wide receiver.
Yeah, for me, I'm going to give it a C-. So anyone who's on Patreon with me, I'm going to make sure to grade you a little bit harder so you don't get comfortable, But I think for me, what makes it a C- versus a C+ is the top 3 wide receivers are a little bit of boom-bustish guys. So I feel like I would have went with the safer pick than Cooper there. And, maybe even like a Deontay Johnson there seems a little bit safer with like volume compared to Cooper. Cooper's a little bit higher upside, maybe than Johnson from time to time. But I feel like Cooper's floor is a lot lower than someone like Johnson's for sure. And Debo, he's boom bustish. Cooks is pretty solid. And I like Samuel late and the running back depth. That's really why it gets the C- also. I mean, there is no depth at all. I like Ramondre Stevenson. But
I was mad. I liked the Ramondre pick because I wanted to simulate what I would do being a Damien Harris guy in this draft. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I like Damien, man.
I mean, did you get sniped? Were you thinking about?
I like where he's going too, man. Damien Harris is in a single QB league like this. He's going in the 8th, 9th round all the time. You know what I mean?
I like him with Mac, dude. If Mac takes over, dude, I think they have,
right now,
they had a little bit of chemistry together. They played a little bit together, and I feel like them Alabama guys, they can really stick together.
I mean, look at Cam Newton right now. He messed up in the protocol or something. He took the test at the wrong place, not the NFL regulated or whatever. So he's gone for 4 more days. So he's probably going to miss the dress rehearsal preseason game, and it's going to be Mac Jones with the ones, and he's practicing with the ones already. So. I mean, this is his time to impress the hell out of Belichick and them. You know what I'm saying? Show him how he moves in the pocket with them childbearing hips. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And show Robert Kraft, hey, listen, you could promote me, put me on the mac and cheese box. See, look at that. Look at the marketing.
Did y'all see that Fields is going to be running with the ones on for the Bears?
Well,
word. That's good.
Yeah,
you know what that shows us? That shows us that it's going to happen sooner than later. And they're not going to start in week 1 because they're not going to feed his ass to the Rams and Aaron Donald and them.
Yeah, that's probably smart.
And check this out. Andy Dalton, notoriously bad in prime time and bad on the road. And he starts on the road in SoFi on Sunday night.
The red rifle, dude. He'll shoot your eye out.
And then the next week they play the Bengals, and the Red Rifles hoping they give them a little revenge game, but that's the game they're going to view as a safe game to debut their rookie quarterback. Like, fuck it, man. It's the Bengals. I'm
so sad that the Vikings should have traded up to get him. They're so dumb. I hate Kirk Cousins.
That is crazy.
Dude,
but
are you kidding me? Why would you not?
They traded up to grab Durashaw, right?
Look how good Fields is. Could you imagine him with Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen?
and it's a Kubiak system, which is a circa Mike Shanahan system, because that's who mentored him.
God.
Yeah, that would have been nasty.
So Bogard, what you think about Trey Lance?
Nasty.
I love him, but he's an extreme project. He's not as nearly as ready as the Justin Fields is. But like, Shanahan, here's one thing about Shanahan. Shanahan will bring up a guy and you won't know who he is. And sometimes it'll hit hard, like Brandon Ayuk. I mean, they say like this, and the 49ers now select wide receiver Brandon Ayuk. I said, who? Right? I said, who is that? Right? But then he was a guy. Sometimes he misses, though, like Joe Williams. Y'all remember the legendary Joe Williams, the running back? Yeah. He pounded the table for him. Never worked out. Never even seen him on the field. Yeah. Jalen Hurd is another bust. You know what I mean? Pettis, Dante Pettis.
They couldn't stay healthy, though, Bogard. They got hurt. They got hurt 2 years in a row.
That's true. But see, Trey Lance, he's still a project, but super high ceiling. You know what I mean? And look, we're seeing crazy flashes already. And we're going to see him in the field. He's just not going to be the starter, because I'm telling everybody right now, Jimmy play good. Jimmy don't get hurt. Jimmy don't lose job. Jimmy had us. We were the second highest scoring offense in 2019, only behind the Baltimore Ravens, and they had the MVP. So like we're got to play defense. And I also had a saying, we're winning ugly with handsome Jimmy, because it's ugly. He's going to play bad. He's going to have turnovers, but like he also have comeback games, like against the Saints. Comeback game against the Cardinals. Like we have these, he shows up, but then he also it's also it seems like he never has a ceiling, that Jimmy. You know what I mean? And then he'll do things like run for 9 yards out of nowhere, like in the last preseason game. You're like, oh shit.
Well, there's a clear difference also, because the 49ers have the luxury of being able to bring Trey Lance along slowly because they've got Jimmy G. Yeah, the Bears have.
Andy Dalton.
I would consider it nobody.
Right. That's a solid point.
And the coach is coaching for his job, because if he doesn't do well this year, he's out. I mean, there's no way he'll be gone by week 6 or 7.
Who are you talking about?
Matt Nagy.
Yeah. It feels. I mean,
y'all remember Mike Malarkey?
Dude,
yes.
Remember?
How can I forget?
He got them to the playoffs. They beat the number one seed Chiefs or number 2 seed Chiefs, and then they lose to the Patriots, and then they fire Malarkey. So I'm saying it's the Nagy situation is the same, because if you look at Nagy just on paper and you never watch football, you'd be like, oh, this coach is pretty good. 2 out of 4 years, he got their team into the playoffs. He's ass. It doesn't matter if he gets them to the Super Bowl this year and wins it. They're going to fire him.
I mean, they're giving him the number 1 defense, basically, and
he's wasted it. He's wasted it.
I don't know if you guys watched the game last week, but he looked so confused. He looked like he didn't even know what was happening. He looked lost.
I've seen this. Listen, that's actually his look, his regular look, because that's the look he has, and it'll be 3rd and short, and he's like, put in Cordell Patterson in there. You know what I mean? And it's 3rd and short. They'll never see it coming. We're gonna run it up the middle with Cordell, and then they get stuffed. It's like he does shit like that. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, you had rookie David Montgomery. You could have pounded it in there.
Him and Zimmer are getting fired this year, no doubt.
Yeah,
dude, the crazy thing is they'll probably switch positions, and we'll get stuck with Nagy.
Don't wish that upon yourself.
I know. It's what's gonna happen. though.
You know what? Eric Bieniemy is like. He's gonna have like choices here. You know what I mean? Like Chicago's gonna be a nice place, and he's gonna look at Justin Fields is there. You know what I mean? He could look at Cincinnati, because I think how the fuck is Zach Taylor still around 3 years and they didn't fire him? You know what I mean? So he's gone for sure.
Exactly.
You know
but Eric Bieniemy, I'm gonna tell you, Eric Bieniemy did a great job all last year. But when that Super Bowl, that was the worst calling game that I ever seen in my history. Why are you gonna keep running Tyreek Hill deep? They taking him away, bro.
Yeah.
So I don't understand that. So I don't know if it was cause of injury, what happened with his son. I don't know what happened. So I'm willing to give him a pass. But man, that was the worst call game I ever seen in my life. You wasn't gonna beat them deep. So I don't get it.
Here's why those were bad calls. Because by the first half, they sure already knew that their line was Swiss cheese.
Exactly.
And that you got to get the ball out quick.
I agree.
That's why he had like almost as many yards backpedaling as he did passing, because he was still trying to find Tyreek Hill, trying to extend the play. And it was like they should have switched the play calling to quick hitter passes, get the ball out into your playmakers, because you got this ferocious pass rush coming at you.
I think somebody that we could look at it being a coach next year is going to be Kellen Moore. I mean, he already got several
offers.
I think he got one offer last year, and he decided to stay. But I mean, that dude he's rising quick up the ladder to be a
Y'all
coach.
ever think Pete Carroll might up and retire out of nowhere? Because I think that would be a super interesting spot for anyone to want to go to. Because I feel like Pete Carroll not only does he look like Ellen DeGeneres, and I argue that he is Ellen DeGeneres, they're the same person. But I feel like he's old and senile now, and that he's just quit.
I agree. He's only senile when he's out of football, but when he's on football, he's just as smart as any guy out there. He really is, man. So and I hate to say this, don't take this the wrong way, but if he quit coaching, he could pass away, man. Like I feel like Pete Carroll lives to coach. So I think he's going to do that up into like his health won't allow him to get up out the bed. I really believe that.
I'm agree with that too.
It's crazy.
Let's get back into these teams.
Yeah,
let's get back into these teams. So KD. KD's gonna go next, break down his team. Bear down, you're gonna be after that, and then Francisco, you're after that, and then we're gonna go through our teams a little bit before we get out of here.
All right. So with my team, what I was trying to do is go for the three-headed monster for the surefire running back. I wanted that just because I want to have the ability to play them each and every week, no matter who I'm going against.
I call that the chunky method. You got to get chunky at running back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
If you get in the GIF, we want the chunky one. You know what I mean?
But what happened is it's not like it looks like you didn't go that route though. So that was what you wanted to do coming in.
It was more like the smooth jiffy. You know what I mean? It wasn't like the
So things got kind of murky, and I had to end up taking Mozart. And then I kind of lucked up, and Gus Edwards was a good supplement to what I had. So I think he's going to get a lot of targets towards the red zone, even in the open field as well. And he's the guy that people like to say he's a 2, but in all actuality, depending on who they play, some weeks he can be the 1 because he's a bruiser type of running back, and Baltimore is committed to the run game. So I like that, like getting that type of pick.
I think it's.
He's gonna be probably a 2-minute drill running back for sure. 2-minute. I feel like he'll get the 2-minute drill for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I was gonna say when you look,
probably third downs.
If you look at a team that they're playing, and that team is ass, and they're gonna get smacked up by the Ravens, you should expect a big Gus Edwards game because he's the guy that's gonna close the game out. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And if they're smacking already by second, remember the MVP year? How many games did you see? That Lamar Jackson they would bench him in the third quarter because they're smacking so hard, and it'd be the Gus Bus just killing shit.
Yeah, he went like 3 games without playing the fourth quarter. So with my wide receivers, I was kind of looking for the guys that I knew was going to be on the field and we're going to get a lot of targets. Galladay is kind of trying to help steer the young Giants wide receiver core in the right direction. Pairing him with a Darius Slayton and Evan Ingram, basically, trying to solidify himself as a tight end before he's out of the league in a few years. So I think that was a good situation for him to go to. So he's going to kind of be the premier guy in New York. With the Terrence Marshall, I think Sam Darnold.
I like that pick.
I love him, man.
Yeah, Sam Darnold is out to prove that he wasn't a bust. It was kind of like what I think, who was he saying it earlier? Going to the wrong team, quarterback or players going to the wrong team. I just think he was never properly developed in New York, and then they didn't give him the targets either. Because
Todd Bowles draft him, and then
just like Tannehill. Hey, just like Tannehill.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And so by him having 3 viable receivers and a running game, and a really good defense, so I think he's going to probably go out. And I won't say he's going to ball out, but he's going to definitely be of significant value, even in the fantasy world. So with that being said, I definitely look at Marshall getting a lot of those touches. The next guy, Rhondella.
He also knows the system already too. He's gonna walk in knowing the system. He played,
absolutely.
Played with Joe Brady.
Yeah. Yep, he marries up with his college offensive coordinator. So that's a good thing.
And Sam Darnold, historically, so far in his career, shorter A dot. You know what I mean? That's gonna favor CMC and guys whoever's out of the slot, like a Terrence Marshall in this case.
And then the sneaky pick that I was able to get was Rhondella Moore for Arizona.
You know what was interesting? They were throwing him screens like every week so far. It's only been 2 games, right? They're throwing him screens on first and second downs. I'm like, this is interesting because they want to get the ball in his hands because he got the speed.
You know why though, right? Because you look at their offense, all the receivers have bigger receivers. So it's like, hey, okay, I'm gonna double team these guys. And then guess what? I got an opportunity to kill you on the jet sweep or either a swing screen pass or something. So Rhondella Moore, as long as he stays healthy, and then yeah, by the way, he can break a tackle or two. So
yeah, he's a beast. He's a little fucker too.
He was my favorite. He was my favorite wide receiver coming out, just kind of based on like I want to see him just like smash a DB, just go heads up with him right after he catches the ball and like just take it to the house. Like it's gonna happen.
Don't give me no penalties on a big play, Rondell. You know what I mean? Don't you hate that? You get a big ass play and there's a flag on it. You're like,
yeah, no.
It's gonna be like unnecessary roughness on him. It's gonna be like he's gonna lay in the hat, bro.
Derrick Henry on the receiver's body.
For my tight ends, I kind of played it safe towards the end with Tonyan. Pitts, everybody know the upside with Pitts. Barring his health, he stays healthy. Atlanta's not going to have much of a run game. And if they are getting blown out a lot, I think he's going to get his work done early. And I just think he'll stay viable throughout the whole season. I
want to say something. I don't know why just real quick, I just want to think out loud. I don't know why they drafted Pitts. Why, like you had Fields there, you have an old ass Matt Ryan, you have a new head coach, and you're not trying to reset. And everything they did shows me that they're trying to win now by drafting like a Pitts but they don't have. Look at the personnel. Yeah, it's like they're not going to win now though. You look at the personnel. It's like,
there's some quarterbacks next year that are going to be there's good enough quarterbacks next year. I feel like Sam Howell. I think he's good. He's a good quarterback for that system.
Yeah,
they got themselves into a pickle with Matt Ryan's contract because like the next 2 years they can't get out of it like at all. Wow. Nobody's going to want to take it on. So like it's just they lay.
Oh, that's right. They restructured this shit.
Yeah, they made their bed. Now they
lay in the pits.
It was funny that we talked about it on our From the Couch Sports about Julio Jones.
Yeah, trading away Julio. That's not winning now.
Exactly. So with that being said, looking back at it now, if nothing else, you should have shored up your offensive line because you lost your best lineman in free agency, and then you didn't do anything to replace him. So it was like the veteran guy that was training up a bunch of the young guys to finish a little bit better than what they came in as. Then, by the way, all right, y'all trained, y'all good to go. I'm out. I'm going to go get money elsewhere. So with that being said, I just think they should have went offensive line if they weren't going to go quarterback. So, and then my last two picks, Cole Beasley and Sammy Watkins. I didn't want to pick them. I wanted to pick another defense, but I'll still talk about them.
Sammy Watkins the number one if he's healthy right now.
Yes,
whatever that's worth in the Baltimore Ravens offense.
Double, triple asterisk on that when healthy.
Well, I will tell you this: in the words of what TD was saying earlier, they get to the playoffs. That's what Sammy Watkins is there for. If he's healthy, because they cannot afford to go into the playoffs with the same style of offense. They have to have a threat in the air game, even if they don't throw it all the time. They have to be able to hit the home run ball because if not, it's going to be the same thing year in and year out. Run.
He's probably still like a 4.4 runner at this point in his career because he was a sub 4.4 runner like when he came into the league. Then you have Marquise Brown, another burner, and then you have Rashad Bateman who could go over the middle. But it's like Mark Andrews is the only. He's destined to be the guy to lead this team in receptions because everybody's hurt. You know what I mean, except for him.
And that's what I was gonna say. Like what does our week 1 depth chart look like though? Because I'm being honest with you.
Miles Boykin.
Hey, 3 of us.
Sleeper.
3 of us off this panel can go in and start right now if we wanted to. So,
they're about to bring back Willie Snead.
I know, right?
Like, come on back, Willie.
Hey, no, not even him. Rashard Perriman.
Oh, now he's actually doing Brashad Perriman things in Detroit right now, and he's hurt over there. You know what I mean?
Derek Mason.
Garrett Mason.
Derek
I don't even
Mason.
know who that is.
Yeah, Derek Mason.
Old school wide receiver.
Oh, okay. We're talking old school.
Who's still our leading receiver, by the way?
That's funny.
he's Tottenham's leading receiver too.
Oh my god.
For real? Yet I can't think of a notable Titans receiver for real. That's crazy.
And Derek Mason was about the best one we've had.
Anquan Bolden.
Anquan Bolden came through. I don't think he came through Tennessee, did he?
Oh, you talking about Tennessee?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Tennessee. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hey, we had Randy Moss. We had Randy Mossberg last year.
Don't bring up Anquan Bolden. That hurts. Anquan Bolden's name hurt to me because we won the Super Bowl and then we traded the guy. And
I lost the Super Bowl to him, and then we get him only to get there and get and then the freaking that Richard Sherman tip, the tip heard around the world.
Yeah.
Tom Brady couldn't even win a Super Bowl with Randy Moss. Jeez.
Listen, this is a real thing. It's called the high profile wide receiver curse. When they go to the second another team. Yeah,
him and Chris Carter. Dude, we had him and Chris Carter.
And then you guys missed that goddamn field goal. The goddamn field goal.
I don't know. Randy Moss made Matt Castle look really good. Made him a lot of money.
What's the next team we're doing?
We're doing John next. So John picked Kamara first. So he went Kamara, DK, Allen Robinson, Javonte Williams, Lamar Jackson, TJ Hawkinson, Jalen Waddle, Melvin Gordon, Tyler Boyd, Phillip Lindsay, Darnell Mooney, Henry Ruggs, Sanders, the kicker, Gronkowski, Tua, and the Dolphins.
I give this like a C- as well. I like there's the running back depth. I love his receivers and Kamara. But the running back depth, it just falls all the way off. Like there's a couple spots you probably could have went running back instead of where you went some of those receivers earlier. Like after Allen Robinson, I kind of didn't like what he did.
I got C- for me too, and the running back just it makes all the difference here. Kamara's your only big guy. I mean Javonte, I feel like it's going to be him. But
if they said Javonte was the starter, hell yeah, and because Pat Shurmur loves to feed one guy, and I tell you, no one should have Melvin Gordon on their roster. You're gonna lose.
I feel like in these one QB leagues, I feel like if you don't go RB or RB wide receiver RB.
Yeah,
I feel like you're going to be left behind, especially if you go, RB, wide receiver, RB, and then you don't. Even if you do that, you have to go RB again, or
like
RB,
I'm about to give me a D+ because I don't like my running backs. Like I'm like because I tried that. I was like instead of getting Kittle here, I could have grabbed Montgomery or whoever else the fuck that's going to get a workload. And I wanted to see how my team build would look putting Kittle there. So I'm definitely giving myself a D+ C- out the gate already. When you look at my shit.
And I feel like something I got to bring up before I let anybody else go. Lamar Jackson and TJ Hawkinson. I'm not saying you can't get guys like that, there, but I mean, you could push it. If I don't get one of the top 3 guys, I feel like I'm just like pushing it off past guys like Andrews and Hawkinson because you missed out on a lot of good wide receivers.
Well, he could have had Mike Davis. He could have had Mike Davis there. Mike Davis he could have had there, or he could have had. I mean, he could have had Kareem Hunt, who I took. Like those are 2 players that are at least safe enough to give you a good. Especially you have Melvin Gordon and Javonte Williams. That's one QB there, or one wide or RB there.
Here's my thing with Hawkinson too, is like I think he's gonna pile up a bunch of receptions, but like I mean, what is it like 80 receptions? Maybe is that his ceiling? You know what I mean?
for like a 5-yard average or something like that.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And probably have like 4 touchdowns on the year.
Javonte Williams looks kind of bummy. I don't know, man.
Don't you talk about my Javonte shares like that?
Yeah, it's all right. Don't I mean?
You know what though? I'm gonna say this is that you are correct. Matter of fact, his lineman had to strip him of the ball so he could score a touchdown for him.
Yeah.
That shit was crazy.
I feel like Melvin can ball. I mean, he's not anything special. I mean, like he used to be.
Melvin needs volume because if you look at his career yards per average, he sucks. He's like
just hand him the ball. He's good.
He's like 3.5 yards average on his career. Like he needs the volume, and he was with Phillip Rivers for years. 25% of Phillip Rivers' target market share goes to the running back position. So he was always piling up 3-4 receptions a game. Like, I don't really see that with the Drew
Lock.
Lock.
In the red zone too.
Yeah.
So why not use him? Just let him get hot and let him go. I mean, he's just why not just use him as much as you can until he's gone, right?
They got no quarrels with running him into the ground though, because you're paying him. No one's going to trade him. You know what? How about this? Even better than the Latavius Murray thing, I think the Rams should really be like, okay, let's see if we could trade for Melvin Gordon. You know what I mean?
Somebody's got to just let him just eat, because I think he's good enough. I mean, he's older, but he just let him run until he's done.
Yeah, he's not that old too. He just got a lot of wear and tear. Yeah. That's why I actually hope he has a groin right now. I hope they run his ass into the ground and he gets hurt fast, because I got all the Javonte.
I think
it might be Royce Freeman.
Not all the Javonte. Freeman. I don't think
this guy Rolls Royce
Freeman. Yeah, Rolls Royce, baby.
I think this guy has a C+ B- team. He got Alvin and Lamar. Y'all might not think that highly of Lamar, but Lamar has MVP upside. So he could have.
I think very highly of Lamar. Yeah, I mean, he just had 2 back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. So
so check this out. I love that he went Javonte and Melvin. Let me tell you why. So now he got guys that he can work from the waiver wire. So if something happened where Javonte don't get the role, he has Melvin. If Javonte gets the role, he has Javonte. So he's good with that.
What about who? The bye week. You got
the bye week.
When you got bye week for 2 running backs there, 2 of your running backs now are gone.
So he just drop play Phillip Lindsay or go stream one.
Hey, I got a stupid ass strategy I just thought of, because there's hella bye weeks teams in week 7, right? I'm gonna try to construct a team where all the bye weeks they all have that same bye week. That way, I only really deal with it one time in the whole year. You know what I mean?
All your bench players that then you have to draft the whole backup bench.
Listen, I just lose that week. It all happens that week. You know what I mean?
Start a good line. Start a good. You got to start.
You know what? We'll hope for the best.
And he got DK Metcalf. I think DK Metcalf, and this is a bold prediction. DK Metcalf is wide receiver 1.
I have him at 6 overall in the year, so I'm not that far off from you. It's not far fetched. You know what I mean?
And then he got Allen Robinson, the target monster. If we was to gauge fantasy by targets, Allen Robinson would be the number 1 player, right?
His starting lineup it is scary, but if I'm gonna grade the team as a whole, you know what I mean? I'm just I wouldn't even took Melvin Gordon there. I would have took something else.
Well, it's fine. I'm fine with that. Then instead of T.J. Hawkinson, there's still look at these running backs he passed up on.
Yeah,
he could have had.
But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that who he passed up. It doesn't matter who he passed on. It matters who he got. So if Jalen Waddle and those guys don't hit, then you're right. But if Jalen Waddle hits, Allen Robinson hits, TJ has a top 10. If TJ Hawkinson has a top 10 tight end year, DK has top 5.
TJ Hawkinson will be a top 6, top 5 at minimum at the position. But that's not saying much because the tight end landscape is so it's so shitty. You know what I mean?
No, but you don't want to have the guys outside that top 6 though, right?
Yeah.
Good so point. That's what so then he got Javonte Williams, and if he he got where he could get on a 6-7 game win streak. He got players that got a lot of ceiling. So I think you have a C+ B- team, bro. Good team. Like they saying, you could have went RBs and made your team maybe a little bit better. But if those receivers hit, you have a good strong team.
For PPR purposes, anytime you're filling up all your, as much spots you can with receivers, that's never a bad idea. I always say, because it's PPR. You know what I mean? So,
And
I'm sticking with my C-.
Well, I'm only grading it off of the starters, and there's 3 flex positions as well. So, the way that it's working out here,
His
starting
3 flexes
lineup is
will be Waddle.
Javonte if
And
he goes
Gordon.
3 wide receivers, Waddle, Boyd, and Mooney, or he's mixing in, Waddle, Gordon, and Boyd, or Waddle, Lindsey, and Boyd, So, that's why I give it that just
Okay.
first week of the season, I don't Lamar Jackson, Alvin Kamara, DK, those top 4 guys, they'd really have to carry you a long way week 1.
That's true.
Yeah.
All right, so who is next? Bear Down is next. And so that's he went Saquon Barkley, Aaron Jones, CeeDee Lamb, Cooper Kupp, Mike Davis.
Good.
Yeah, Devontae
This team's good. This team's
Aaron
good.
Rodgers, Logan Thomas, Antonio Brown, Tony Pollard, Marvin Jones, the Baltimore Ravens, Traquan Smith, Nelson Aguilar, the 49ers, and Tevin Coleman.
I'm going to give him a B-. I like this team a lot.
It's a good team. This is easily a playoff team.
And he took my tight end. I love Logan Thomas.
Oh.
I think he's going to be
I like Wolverine
super
too.
stud this year.
Antonio Brown in the 9th is nice. He's going to be a consistent.
He snatched
flag.
me. I had him queued up, man. I was going to stack the trio of Brady. I shouldn't have grabbed Brady, man, where I grabbed him. But we'll get to that.
And I think, even if you look compared to the last team, you wait 2 rounds. He could have got Aaron Rodgers, and then he could have had Mike Davis or Deontay Johnson, with that pick. So, that just puts it, into perspective right there. You wait 2 rounds later, you can get a quarterback, same tier. I have those guys in the same tier, and you get a way better running back or wide receiver there.
Mm-hmm. Oh, this is a good team. This is a playoff team for sure.
Definitely.
Especially getting Marvin Jones late. He could be their number 1.
Yeah. He went down last night. Nothing was serious though, right?
Probably a stinger. It's probably.
Yeah.
He landed kind of weird, but he'll be fine.
I like his team. I just don't like. I don't know if he can count on Aaron Jones to be what he thinks he's going to be.
No, Marvin Jones. He fell kind of goofy, but he got up and he played. I think he came off the field after that because they used him as a blocker.
Yeah,
and he came off the field, but he went back on. And he made another catch from Trevor. So I feel like
that's good. That's good.
Well, it's just like Waddle the other week.
No,
he got rolled up. He got rolled up on, and then they showed him.
Yeah.
He went to the 10th, and he'll be fine.
He came back out.
Yeah, he came back out. He was running on the sideline, and he was making cuts on the sideline.
I have a ton of Marvin Jones everywhere this year because he just phenomenal value where you're getting him, and he played with Darrell Bevel for the last 3 years. So the first order of business when they hired Urban Meyer, he brings in his buddy Darrell Bevel, and the first thing they do in free agency is bring over Marvin Jones. Like they have plans for him, you know what I mean? And they've been targeting him a lot. Like DJ Chark, whoever's a DJ Chark guy, like I was last year, like I'm not that guy this year.
I like Marvin Jones and Laviska Shenault. Those are the top 2, I think.
Yeah,
they're going to use Shenault in a weird way.
And you know what?
Especially with ETN's out.
With ETN going down,
do some stuff with him.
Also, the slot snaps aren't going to get taken away from him because that's what they did. They were already showing that they were doing that. They were,
I thought in Colorado they were running him with a running back at some points, and when he played for Colorado, so I think they need to do that. Why won't they do that? Just
I mean, this is the same guy, Urban Meyer, who in college had Curtis Samuel. Help me out here. Let's go back. What's his name, buddy? From the Vikings, man. Percy Harvin.
Oh yeah.
Percy Harvin.
Yeah.
Fucking,
they need to do it. They need to do that.
Chenault's like a big, super athletic version of those motherfuckers. You know what I mean?
And he's gotten stronger after since this year. He's bigger. He's way bigger, and you can see it too when he played the other night. I like it,
bro.
He's big.
In that system, he's gonna be the PPR guy in that system because that system produced guys in fantasy like Golden Tate, Doug Baldwin. I mean, Darrell Bevel, where he goes, that slot receiver is decent in fantasy. You know what I mean?
I think he's going to get some running opportunities too. And if you're playing in those leagues where it's 15 points, or 15 yards per point for like a wide receiver, you're going to get some of them 10 yards per 1 point for a running back. You're going to get some of them, extra points because he's going to run. He's going to run.
Yeah.
They're going to use him like a Curtis Samuel in a way, I feel like.
And he got a couple snaps out of the backfield last year, right? I know it wasn't.
Yeah, he did. I mean, I think they just haven't opened up that opportunity because he was coming off an injury last year too. Remember that?
Yeah,
that's why he didn't. But that's why I mean his 40-yard dash. He came up limping.
That's right.
They told him that his agent told him not to run because of that, and he did it anyways.
And then he ended up with the Jags.
Devonta Smith didn't run. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
The other thing that's going to be interesting about Shenault is he can line up at quarterback too.
Mm-hmm.
That's a sneaky thing. That's a sneaky thing.
I love him, man. I think he's a.
If they had packages like that already ready, because they brought in Tim Tebow, they could still use those same packages with like a Shenault. You know what I mean? Yeah. That was funny. They brought that Tim Tebow thing came and went. You know what I mean? But yeah, who's the next team?
Real quick. Oh, so we've had a couple questions talking about Gibson over Kamara and Gibson over a few other people. So TD, why don't you break down your team, and then Francisco, we're going to do yours next. So hang with us.
Okay, so I'm at the 4th spot. So I'm looking at Elliott. I'm looking at I'm not really looking at Kelsey, but I'm looking at Elliott. I'm looking at Chubb. I'm looking at Kamara. And I'm looking at all the receivers. I'm reaching real hard right here if I go receiver. I always like to go receivers and get the studs like Tyreek Hill, Devontae Adams, but I can't reach. So I got to take an RB here. And after McCaffrey, Cook, and Henry is gone, my guy that I want is still there. It's Gibson. So it's a good spot to take Gibson. So I would have took him at the 4th spot, 5th, 6th, even 7th spot. If it got the 8th, I might have took Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, he ain't coming back to you. I would have probably grabbed him. I would have grabbed him. I would have grabbed him at 8 or at 10.
Exactly. So I only went Gibson. So now I got my RB, my bell count RB. Even though I got 2 starting spots, I'm not worried about my second RB. I'm gonna wait late to get him. I'm gonna do my zero or hero RB strategy right here. So I'm taking the best receivers that come to me. The first one was Terry McLaurin. Easy. I wanted DK, but you see, I got sniped by him. I got sniped by the guy, and so I went Terry McLaurin, and I went Keenan Allen, then I went Brandon Ayuk. I love Brandon Ayuk, and then I went Claypool. So I didn't care that
is nasty for what it's worth. Like, even though I feel like you pulled up Gibson like extremely high, like Gibson along with that set of receivers right there is nasty.
Thank you, I appreciate it. That's what kind of what I was trying to do. So I was like, I seen some other RBs that I wanted. I like James Robinson. I like J.K. Dobbins, but I had to get these receivers, and they failed. So then now it was time for me to get a running back because it was getting late. So I can't wait to it get too late with the running backs. So I still seen Carter. It was a couple other guys there. So I went on to Michael Carter. I like him. He's a starter. So he might not get the work that other guys are getting, but he's a starter. So I'm good with that. And then I cheated. I got Justin Herbert at this round. So that was a killer. I was so happy for that because I faded my quarterback to go quarterback. Then I got Gesicki. I was happy with that. That he's one of my top 7, top 8 guys. I'm okay with riding him out. If I got a stream, I'm okay with that. Then I went Jamal Williams just to have like a guy. If one of my running backs get hurt, I got Jamal Williams. He can be a bell cow. If anything happened to DeAndre Swift, I got a 25 carry guy. You can't beat that, taking that in the 9th round. So I got Jamal Williams. I was good with that. Then, okay, so I treat my positions like women. I want to be the first in there. So that's why I went and got my kicker. I wasn't going to wait. These guys don't value kickers, but kickers can be valued.
I want to be the first one in them.
I would have liked to be the first one in there. But I could have waited to get kickers. And I probably still got Cole. But sometimes when kickers are worth more in some leagues. So what I would tell guys, be the first one in there and get who you want. And that way you ain't got to worry about it. Some guys play different with that, but I like being the first one to get what I want. I don't want to get like a 6th, 7th, 8th ADP kicker. So then I just started going to rookie guys with upside. That's all I did after that. Pure upside. I didn't care about where your ADP was. So I went Elijah Moore, Amar St. Brown, Fairmont, Trey Lance, love that value. I went Arizona Cardinals. That's why I waited late, because I know I'll target them all the way out through the draft. I know I could wait late to get those guys. And I got Jerick McKinnon with the Clyde's Edwards-Helaire upside. So after I got my starting lineup, I just went upside.
Yeah,
So,
man.
I think
yeah, like
the only
really
thing I
want
see,
zero running back.
the only
You
thing I
got-
see about that though is 2 year starting running backs. I have the same bye week.
Okay.
So I mean, Jamal Williams and Antonio
Mhm.
Gibson have the same bye week, so you're going to be starting Michael Carter and Jerick McKinnon.
That's
You're gonna
fine.
have to- You're going to have to stream.
And I think that's fine for me. I'm okay with that. Because that's why I get high upside receivers. Hopefully Terry McLaurin can boom for me that week. Maybe Keenan Allen boom. Maybe IU will play for me.
Gibson and McLaurin are on the same time on the same
Exactly.
team, so they'll have the same bye week.
So that we have the same bye week. When you have
feel like-
no running backs, you're going to have McLaurin out too.
I feel like I could care less about all the bye weeks because
Yeah, I was about to say, like, I don't. I
lot of
cross
moves
that
are gonna
bridge when I get there. That's why I said I would even consciously draft teams that have players from teams that have a week 7 bye, just so I just deal with it all in one week.
That's
You know what I mean? First of all, that's like a
That's
ridiculous.
as I said,
strategy.
that's the only problem I have with your team. Everything else is that, but your team is fire. I love that team. I love Gibbs and that. I mean, that's a little early, but
I think
he's the
you know,
money. If he hits, he's going to be. If
I think
they
that's
talk
his
about how they're
ceiling.
going to use him. Yeah, it's right. His ceiling.
You know what's a good sign? There's a good sign and a bad sign. The bad sign is that he wasn't on the field in any third downs, but the good sign is that they're targeting him on first and second downs. We fucking love that. Because you know who else they used to do that with? CMC. And it's the same regime that had him. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I love all that upside, but I wouldn't have bought it there. Like you could have went. I'm not afraid to pull up Devontae Adams there at 4. I think there's an argument to be made for Devontae Adams over some of the guys. If you're a zero RB RB truther, you know what I mean?
You're right.
You might not have got Gibson on the way back, but like you might, maybe who was there? Najee didn't make it there. Mixon,
Clyde, Dobbins.
Mixon's a 300 touch
do I
back
get
right there.
if I don't get Gibson right there with my zero RBs? What kind of value do I ever get with a running back? Because I'm not going to pass out on these receivers.
But there's a reason. There's a reason why there is a reason why those running backs go and that those running backs go high in single QB because they're guaranteed a workload. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like Gibson's work. There's still J.D. McKissick that exists in that world. And from what we've seen in preseason, they're continuing from what they did on last year, where he's the third down guy, or even at times you'll see Gibson in the backfield and McKissick he's lined up somewhere. So like I'm saying, like the fact that he exists when other guys like a Zeke is there, yeah, you can make an argument that Tony Pollard's there, but still I'm gonna go historically that he's gonna get like 250 carries on the ground, and that's just the carries. Maybe he's gonna get close to 300 just on the ground alone. You know what I mean? Like we're hoping that. That Gibson's upside is like close to 300 touches because I think he's like around 260 total touches. You know what I'm saying? Like, and maybe he piles up like 30, 40 receptions and gets a bunch of touchdowns again. But I never really try to predict touchdowns. Those are kind of wonky to predict. But I'd say like you need all those things for him to justify picking him up that high.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
I just don't like the other guys out. I don't think the other guys is that much better than him. I don't think Ezekiel Elliott is better than him. I don't think Ezekiel is better than him. I think Christian McCaffrey and Dalvin could be, but I don't think Chubb, Ezekiel, Barkley.
Listen, this is why I like Gibson in the second round because he's only played running back for a year. You know what I mean? Like, and he has a turf toe, and like he has a quarterback who historically, when things are going bad, he's just like, all right. Takes the chin strap out. We're going down the field. Fuck this check down shit. We're stretching the field, baby. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just saying there's too many other variables where because I'm trying to be risk avert as possible. And for a zero RB truther, I would have just got like Tyreek Hill there. I would have pulled him all the way up right there. You know what I mean? Like, and that would have been just fine. I would have pulled up Devontae Adams right there, and that would have been just fine. You know what I mean? Because the guy Gibson. If you didn't get Gibson, you would have got Mixon. Mixon, and I hate playing this game, but if healthy, you know what I'm saying? He's going to go well over 300 touches. You know what I mean? Well over 300 touches. No Gio there neither. There's no one there to take the work in the passing game. And he's a great pass. He's great on third down pass protection. So he's never coming off the field. Like, I'm just saying, like, I love the value in Mixon and Montgomery, these other guys. And then even James Dobbins, Montgomery. James Robinson now is another one of those guys. It's like in the fourth, maybe back to the third, early fourth now, as we saw today. You know what I mean? Like James Robinson is going to be a workload carrier. Like you can target
Carson.
those guys. Yeah, Chris Carson, target those guys if you're going 0 RB. You know what I mean? You could have picked off 2 of those 3 guys. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. And I get what you're saying. Just real quick, I just don't. I see Gibson as like being the best RB of all RBs this year. So that's why I took him. That's why I'm okay with doing that. But no other running back. Like Hustler asked me a great question. He said, "Well, who else would you have took?" And I said nobody. I would have went a receiver unless I was picking at the number 1 spot, and I would have took Christian McCaffrey. But I don't want to run it back in the first round. But if I have to take one, the only one that I do want is Gibson. So, but you make great points. I can't argue your points, but I just don't want those other guys. That's all I'm doing.
I think
take who you want. Take who you want. Take who you want.
No, I'm an advocate of that too. Yeah, get your guys.
Take who you want to watch too. If you want to watch him, if you really like him and you want to watch him, take him.
Exactly. But you're right. You made great points, Bogard. You really did.
I mean, but the reality is he wouldn't have made it back to you though. Right? That's
no way.
Yeah.
No way. All right. Before we get into our next team, I got to remind everybody to go get signed up at patreon.com/FFHustler420. And I got some homework for Bogart because you really want to make that 7th week bye. Well, we got the bye weeks in the draft guide. So that would be the Bills, the Cowboys, the Vikings, the Steelers, the Chargers, and the Jaguars.
Yeah, okay.
That's 6 teams.
Damn, I could build a phenomenal team with players from those teams.
Are you kidding me? Oh yeah.
This is great.
That's a good strategy. We're
doing another mock draft tomorrow. Going to be in the probably around the same time that we did it today. Bogart, you should draft a team with only those 6 teams and see how your team would turn out. That'd be pretty funny to see.
I'll check back in with you because I'm not sure if I'll be able to make if I'll even be in the reception areas. I might be at work tomorrow during that time, so I'm not sure. I might be doing some work.
All right, we shall see. Yeah. We shall see.
Yeah,
right.
We shall see. But yes, I will do it. Definitely do it though. If I'm able to join tomorrow, I'm rocking the 7th week bye team. And that's a bye week for me too in fantasy because if I can successfully build a team with like imagine this, I get the first round, I get Zeke. In the second round, when I turn around, I get Austin Eckler, right? In the third round, help me out here. What am I doing here, fellas? In the third round,
Justin Jefferson maybe.
Okay, Justin Jefferson, I like it. First receiver because that can happen. You know what I mean? I've seen that happen plenty of times, right? Or boom, we pull off the quarterback, Josh Allen. You know what I'm saying? Maybe, or even maybe even Najee Harris, because I can get plenty of Steelers receivers, so I can get the Steelers receivers later.
Or Keenan Allen.
I get Keenan Allen in the 4th. He's usually going in the 4th round, or you're right, back in the 3rd type of shit. Okay, yeah, this could be done.
There you go.
It could be done.
It works.
We could grab CeeDee Lamb. Could grab CeeDee Lamb there.
Right.
Yep, another option.
I'll grab one. I'm gonna grab him. Hell yeah, you're right. I don't mind having a CeeDee Lamb Zeke either. I think that there's enough to go around for both of them. Everyone there.
I think. I think CeeDee could be the number 1 easily.
Dude, imagine having a Zeke Najee team. Oh my God, if that happened, I'm trying. That'd be nasty too.
Najee's just rising and rising though.
But yeah, he is rising and rising. He's gonna be in. I think we said this on My Version's Better one time. We said Najee's probably gonna end up on that 1-2 turnaround when it's all said and done. By the time we get to the end of August. Yep. I said that in like March. Or
where did Jonathan Taylor fall? Where did Jonathan Taylor
second fall? Round.
Hype last year? He was 2nd round?
No, he was going in the 1st round this year before the injury to Carson Wentz.
And he said last year, right?
Last year.
No,
I got him in the
4th round.
Yeah, he was
really?
Yeah. I got him in the 4th. I wanted
to like McCaffrey.
I was going a bunch of Jonathan Taylor, then Cam Akers, like 4 or 5. I was doing that last year.
But high,
I was doing
Carlos Hyde.
It didn't really work out for me.
Carlos Hyde was going as high as like what, the 6th pick overall?
See, that was just crazy.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Oh yeah, I was like Carlos Hyde. I was like,
my bad, Clyde.
No, he was. Yeah, I was
saying Clyde.
On the 1-2 turnaround, bro. I was pulling him up on the one side. Like when I was in the back of the first round, I was pulling up Clyde everywhere. The Fresh Prince of Helaire, and it just didn't work out. Now he's like he might drop a little. He dropped a little bit today, right? The back
end
of the 3rd.
Second.
They should have drafted Gibson. Kansas City should have drafted Antonio Gibson.
You know what though? Kansas City, the reason they drafted Clyde is because that's who Patrick Mahomes
And
supposedly they said that's who he
players
wanted.
play and coaches coach and GMs pick players.
I like that.
He messed up. He messed that one up. He should have just kept his mouth shut.
But it takes someone like a Ron Rivera and Scott Turner who actually had CMC and to be like, here's this guy who only had 70 touches coming out of college. You know what I mean? And we're gonna they said, hey, this guy reminds us of CMC. We're gonna draft him. And they actually spent a little bit of draft capital, like third round. That's a guy who's like, was in the starting conversation. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was on him before even the combine. I seen him when I
that's
seen
the one thing I worry about with
230.
Michael Carter too. With Michael Carter, why is he out there with the team twos? Is it because he carries a fourth round draft capital and they're making him work his way up? Or you know what I mean? Because you've seen Ty Johnson and fucking Tevin Coleman with the team ones. You know what I mean? Like it makes me, it's just, coaches do funny things like that, right? Like, hey, yeah, he's a rookie, got to earn his keep. Like he's clearly the number 2, but on the roster as a rookie, but they're going to put him listed as like the number 5 on the depth chart. You know what I mean? Like they be doing shit like that.
Well, coaches for some odd reason they think they can hide players. They figure like, hey, okay, this guy is a high name rookie, but I want to kind of keep him on the shelf, and then so he can kind of ooh and ah and dwindle me in of winning a couple of games for a few weeks. Because you got those teams that are on the cusp of having a 10-win season. So if I got this prized rookie that's on the shelf, it's like, hey, you know what? Now it's time to take him out of the bag and let him go crazy. So that's what I think is happening with a couple of the running backs, especially him.
I got to grab something, y'all.
Hey, let's do Steven's team next.
All right.
Did y'all give me a letter? Did y'all grade my team? I didn't hear it from y'all. I seen a guy say something. What did y'all think my team is?
I said the only thing wrong with your team was the running backs. But, I mean, like they said, it doesn't matter because you could just take that as a bye week.
So would you give it like a B plus?
Besides the running backs, I'd probably give you a B. Besides that, I mean, that drops you down to probably a C plus for me.
Okay.
Other than that, like I said, your running back, I like running backs. And in a 1 QB league, I like to have running back depth. Period.
Okay. All right.
That's just me.
Yeah,
I like you can still do your hero RB strategy, but then I feel like at that either 4 or 5, you have to just take RBs. You can take your 2 wide receivers and then just go QB late and worry about your tight end later, But you have to, with your type of strategy, like I'm saying, I like hero RB. I like it a lot. It's a cool strategy, and you could just I feel like 4 or 5, you just have to grab running backs there, and then maybe the 7 and 8 grab another running back.
Okay.
That's just my thought,
Yeah, I respect that. I see what you're talking about.
And at that point, you're solid on running backs, and then that you could still get 2 elite wide receivers there, and the second and third round, and you're still set at wide receiver, right? And I feel like there's a lot of depth at wide receiver this year, so you can grab those other receivers later to fill in, right?
Right. Yeah.
And you're still set at running back. If one of those running backs goes down, you're set. That's just my thought in 1 QB leagues.
Okay.
Solid B for me. I mean, the wide receivers, you grabbed off 4 nice ones in a row. So, you're real top heavy out the top 5, and then Justin Herbert and Gesicki. And I really think Williams is going to get a lot of run there. Especially in like week 1 when Swift hasn't really played that much. I think Williams is going to be the 1A on
I like Williams.
at least week 1. And I already told you about Koo. I just don't think he's going to repeat. And then Bogart brought up a good point, about a guy like Kyle Pitts, who's, going to take a lot of TDs in the red zone that they didn't really have anybody like that before.
That's true.
And I like the tight end from the Steelers. I make fun of his name because I don't even know how to say it, but Freiermuth is how I always said it for the longest time.
It's like Freiermuth.
He's going to be dope. He's going to be dope. Like you could already see if it wasn't for Pitts, a guy like him would be. He would have been the number 1, but Pitts was just there and that much better. But yeah, he's dope. So yeah, solid B all around, super solid. I don't think the second running back position is that important if you got good flexes.
Okay,
which you do.
Appreciate it. Yep.
That's the best part of this is everyone has their kind of own opinion how they attack.
Yep. I agree.
All right, let's get Steven's team done.
Let me read it off.
Go ahead.
I'll read it out for you, Steven. Where is he?
It's what Christian
McCaffrey. Number 1, yeah.
Yep.
Can you read it, Justin? Can you see it?
Yeah.
All right,
Christian. So he went at number 1. He went Christian McCaffrey, and then on the turn, he back at the end of the second round, he went AJ Brown, then J.K. Dobbins, which I feel like that's pretty solid. Then he went heavy on wide receivers. So Adam Thielen, Jamar Chase, which you said that you wanted to go Boyd, I think, or Higgins.
No, I was going Higgins.
And then, I mean, I don't know about Chark. We'll see. Just depends on how they use him. Joe Burrow as your number 1. I mean, at least you got Matthew Stafford too. I like that. See, I like having at least two QBs that can at least hold you down. You never know. One of them can go down, and at least you have somebody there to keep your team going if you're a competitive team. You know.
On the Singletary pick, my draft board didn't have Jamal Williams or Damien Harris on the draft board still, so that's why I went Singletary.
I didn't even notice that. Damn. So let's see here.
My bad. I had to talk to my neighbor real quick. Somebody had crashed into his garage. He was trying to ask me if I knew anything. I'm like, listen, it wasn't me. You know what I mean?
So we're doing the number 1 team here. We're doing Steven's team.
Okay,
Christian McCaffrey start.
So where'd you leave off at, Justin? Stafford?
So we went, Joe Burrow, Singletary, and then Mike. I like Mike Williams. I mean, he's going to be, if he doesn't get hurt, that guy likes to jump as high as he can and land on everything he can to break himself. But he's still good. If he's healthy, he's good. Like, I mean, that's his thing. He doesn't care where the ball is. He's going to go up, he's going to get it, and he's going to fall as hard as he can and make the earth shake.
And then it's Josh Palmer time. Let's go.
I like him too. But I mean, this team's pretty solid. I mean,
running back depth is a little bit.
Your Singletary over. It sucks that you didn't see those players. You just have to, I guess, look a little harder. You could go into the. You didn't show it all. Like you went into the RB selection.
Yeah, I went into the RB and it had Singletary, and then the next one was Gainwell and Stevenson. Was the next two after Singletary.
That's weird.
Huh. You know what? I ain't gonna lie, man. The sleeper has done like all kind of crazy shit like that to me. I've been through it all. Like that shit has happened to me before.
But
it'll put me on auto draft out of nowhere. I'm like, what is going on?
On where I picked Singletary, I was gonna go tight end. I wanted Gesicki or Logan Thomas, and both of them got sniped right before it got to me. So.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm happy with Higbee. I like the Stafford-Higbee connection.
I like it. I mean,
I like Jared Cook. I like Jared Cook too. I mean, he could still.
Yeah, I was going to say about Jared Cook. That's a sneaky good pick.
Jared Cook is this year. He's this year's Robert Tonyan, where he's not going to have a ton of yards, but I won't be surprised if he falls into double-digit touchdowns.
Why not? Or like a Jonnu Smith. I mean, not that style of player, but at that kind of.
Yeah, like just someone who's going to produce, like just get a bunch of touchdowns and like the yardage ain't really going to be there.
And what do you think, KD, about Jared Cook? Because I think he's going to be the guy. I don't know if that rookie's going to come in and overtake him.
Yeah. The one thing that people watching many New Orleans Saints game, he had times to where he was the man, and then there was other times where he would break people off, and then he would just freaking get the ball punched out. And he would fumble. So it would basically be like, God dang it, dude, if you could just practice ball security, you'd probably be a top 5 tight end or be making the R4. Just you can't break people off and then get stripped in the middle of the field by DB.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta follow the coaches too. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like Joe Lombardi's over there. You know what I mean? He just came from the Saints, and that's one of the first orders of business they did was bring over Jared Cook to solidify that position because there's no more Hunter Henry over there. And like I said, Joe Lombardi's the OC now. So to bring someone in that's going to walk in and know the system that they're going to run, you know what I mean? Like I won't be surprised if and we're all big on Justin Herbert, like, right? We're all big on him. Like what? Everyone automatically believes he's going to throw at least 33 touchdowns again, right? Yo, there's going to be a ton of touchdowns for Jared Cook to catch.
He's big.
Yeah, he's the red zone guy.
Mm-hmm. That's a sneaky pick.
Yeah, I like it.
All right.
Steven Stone's probably died. He told me his battery is low. So
okay.
So my team.
Well, what do we grade?
I'm gonna give him a C-. That's kind of
mean-
like, yeah, because the running back depth kills me. And Singletary's I don't touch any of the running backs over there. Like the best running back they got over there is Josh Allen.
Well, let's look at this then.
Wow.
If Javonte Williams would have been gone there because he didn't know he would have took him, then TD
Yeah.
would have had to take what Damien Harris. Then
I would have been
Harris.
Yeah, it's the butterfly effect. You gotta love it.
Oh my god,
This is why we do mocks. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
that's crazy.
Because I was going to roast him. I was going to say C-, and he's lucky he had Christian McCaffrey because that's what brought it
you're
up
right.
to a C-.
I'll give him a C. I'll give him a C.
I
like
mean,
to see him.
if he would have been able to get one of those players too. I mean,
That
his team might have been a
changes
little
it.
bit better. Yeah, for
Having
sure.
Gesicki, or well, no, he wouldn't add Gesicki because he said he got sniped right in front of him. But
he would have had Javonte Williams or Damien
Yeah.
Harris, over Singletary.
yeah,
That makes his team a little bit better.
Yeah, I think, and I think I would have rather had, any like Curtis Samuel, Jarvis Landry, Terrace Marshall, Tyler Boyd, literally everybody except Will Fuller. I don't know if I would have drafted him over Mike Williams, but
That god awful Will Awfuller, you mean?
yeah, it's not messing with him. I don't know, not messing with him.
I just don't believe that Tua's going to stretch the field like he did in college. Like everyone says, oh, he's doing in college. Of course he did. But in the NFL, everything's short. You know what I mean?
He threw a 50-yard bomb to Gesicki the other day.
Did he? He threw a 40-yard bomb to Gesicki last year. I mean, it was a night in that Chiefs game.
This year, didn't he have a 50-yard pass to Gesicki? I'm pretty sure it was the first.
Something like that. A lot of it was
corrected.
It wasn't through the air.
Yeah,
Oh,
That's not to the wide receiver. Like he's getting to the wide open,
Exactly.
tight end over the middle.
That's my point. He said he said last. What did he say last year? His receivers weren't getting as open as they were for him, like in college. So what they do? They went out and got a speedster,
multiple speedsters.
Multiple speedsters.
You gotta also remember though, if you have 5 wide receivers and all of them run 4.340s, that's not fair. Because then on top of this, that's not going to set you up for a success.
That makes me love everyone underneath. I love Gesicki then. I love Myles Gaskin out of the backfield then. You know what I mean? Like, because that's going to open it up for them.
And then the other thing is his pre-snap ability is challenged too now. Because, with Alabama, like I said, having a 5-star guard, center, and tackle, and these guys give you 7 seconds, and the average NFL play is 4 seconds, they're not going to work for you.
He probably getting like 3.6,
Exactly. And then the other thing is he got to kind of almost change his delivery on certain type of throws because that long windup that he has, that's not going to get you far when it comes down to throwing the ball down the field. Because if I hit you in the midst of that long windup like that, it's a strip sack waiting to happen. And I just think he got to try and tighten up his throwing mechanics, and then he'll be all right. I think he'll be all right if he does those two things: tighten up his throwing mechanics, and then actually pre-snap ability gets better. Then I think he'll be okay.
I wonder if it's hard for like quarterback coaches to teach that motherfucker because he's left-handed. You know what I mean? I wonder if that matters because when you pointed that out, I never really realized he does have a big windup.
Yep, because me being an Auburn fan, I watched Tua extensively. When it comes down to him playing in college, so I kind of know what he does is good at or what he's not good at. Another thing is, there are going to be times where teams are going to basically say, hey, we're going to take away your number 1 and number 2 option. Is he confident to run? Is he confident to pull the ball down and run? That's going to be the other question.
So right now, all his receivers are not healthy. So once they get all them guys healthy, it'd be kind of nice.
That line is really young too. Like they need if they learn when they learn how to play as a unit, that's because he's banking. He needs a good line. That's a very, very good point you made. Because that actually directly correlates why everything's been short. Because pressure's coming fast. He got to get it out as fast as he could with that big old windup.
He needs his veteran receiver out there. He needs Parker to be healthy. He needs a veteran receiver out there.
Well, they got Will Fuller. I don't know what he's going to be though. Yeah. I have no idea.
But Parker's been there. They've been with this team for so long. Like I feel like he's a veteran on the team. He knows the team.
And Fuller suspended a couple games, so I mean,
just one game, first game.
Oh,
one.
The first game, just okay. That was just one.
All right, let's break down these last couple teams real quick. So we're going to do Francisco's team because I know he's still here waiting, and then we'll do Justin, and then we'll roast Bogart, and then we'll finish up with mine.
I'm surprised Bogart hasn't roasted me yet tonight. He usually does on the chat.
No, that's why I'm actually I'm glad to join you finally for the first time. You know what I'm saying?
Dude.
I was like, yeah, because
Steven said he was expecting a D- from Bogart.
Okay, let's see here.
I'll give myself Christian McCaffrey. You said you gave him a C-.
Yeah.
At least we know Justin has has an easy win 2 times a year.
Oh no, Steven, don't be like that. At least you can make fun of me for talking about big butt receivers.
Oh, that's right. That's why you did the big butts in the count of lives.
Yeah, shit's so funny.
Awesome.
All right, so Francisco drafted out of the 12 spot. So he went wide receiver back to back with Tyreek Hill and Stephon Diggs, and then Chris Carson, DeAndre Swift, Andrews, Prescott, Odell Beckham, Fournette, Fuller, Zach Moss, Marquise Brown, the Washington football team, Rashad Bateman, Justin Fields, Alexander Madison, and then got Rodrigo Blankenship, who just won the job there in Indy.
Good old goggles. Is that the guy that wears the goggles?
He's the smallest guy in the NFL, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
That guy's tight. You know what? In his past life, he was one of them, the Toro. You know what I'm talking about? What do they call it?
Bullfighter?
He was a bullfighter, man. I'm telling you, he's a matador.
Oh, God.
All right,
Or
Francisco,
horse racer.
I'm giving him a C-. I mean, I like I like going top heavy, with the wide receivers there, but I just don't like the running backs at all. I don't like Carson and Swift as the 1 and 2. That shit would make me nervous as hell. Even though we got Dak and Andrews there, Andrews is someone I think I'm passing over.
His first 6 picks are just awesome, as starters, and then But I know the woes of drafting from that last spot. Like you feel like you're chasing. I feel like he was chasing right after that point. When maybe if he doesn't grab Prescott there or Andrews, you know what I mean, and get more depth at running back and receiver, you know what I mean. I think his team would have been a little better. I'm going to give him a C- as well.
Well, all of his running backs have a bye week, so he's playing that. Besides Zach Moss, they all have a bye week.
It's the Bogard bye week strategy.
There we go.
I'm gonna give him a C- as well, but because of the quarterback selection, I just think to me Herbert or either Rodgers were more surefire answers because you still don't know what the health situation is with Prescott. If he checked out healthy, I would be a little bit more confident in doing that. Just because of the availability of other quarterbacks.
You get me really worried about Prescott. I have a lot of Prescott shares. Like so I happen to believe this is like all precautionary. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
we'll see.
It's because being honest with you, you're talking about
why would they say it?
You're talking about an ankle and a shoulder issue now, and now you're talking about having both of them. If they even think about coming back up in the middle of the season, that could spawn confidence issues. You don't want confidence issues dealing with the rest of the offense that you have.
I think volume. I think the volume in the passing.
It's the ankle. Not
I'll
the
use the
shoulder.
volume in the passing to wipe my sweat away from any kind of worries.
It's not the shoulder to me. It's the ankle. It's like that. It's a crazy injury to come off.
Get in the shotgun.
He's going to have to stay in the pocket. He can't run anymore. That's taking an element away.
He never was a real runner. He's was
good
good
enough to scramble.
I was going to say, but he was also good.
Rodgers is good enough to scramble to get it out of the pocket and make a crazy throw. That's what Dak did.
This ain't Byron Leftwich at Marshall, man. We don't need that no more. I mean, can't carry you down the field.
That's his upside. I mean, when he could scramble out of the pocket and make plays.
What does he average? 4 rushing touchdowns?
Think about Mahomes if he couldn't scramble.
I think he actually averages 4 rushing touchdowns a year in his career so far. So you're right that is going to take away part of his game.
It's the getting out of the pocket, getting away from people trying to sack him. That's the problem to me. At that point, like I said, think about Mahomes. If he could not get away and make crazy plays, does he have the same upside? Would you still draft him that early? That's just my thought.
I always look at it if they can't run. Like, okay, look at Tom Brady. Tom Brady's always going to finish within the top 8 in fantasy,
it's a
right?
brain thing though. He can switch up. I mean, he's.
I know, but I'm
smart.
saying though he's not going to run at all. It's just that
You're
the
right.
volume and the passing is going to be there, and he has weapons. And this is the same formula I feel like that the Cowboys have, but they also have a phenomenal running back to open everything up. Like I'm not worried about Dak. That's why I wanted to know his thoughts on there, because I'm not worried about Dak. I think like they're paying him now, and he is paid. So whatever condition he's in, he's going to get out there. Is it going to be if the arm? I'm more worried about the shoulder. How about that? If the shoulder,
there's nobody behind him to play.
I'm just saying I'm more worried about the shoulder. You know what I mean? I'm worried about the shoulder. You know what I mean? Like because
I think they were saying that shit. I think they were saying that's okay. I think that his shoulder's okay.
So they're worried about the ankle too now.
I think it's just more the mobility. Like to me, it's like being able to get away. That takes so much away from his game. Getting away from being.
I can agree with that.
And according to Stu, he's been saying Dak is fine. And, you know, I'm not going to pretend to be a doctor or say I play one on TV. I'm reserving.
I do on a podcast.
Oh, yeah. I'm just reserving judgment, you know, right now until more facts come out. So, Justin, what do you give him on a grade for Francisco's team?
I think it's like a C. Well, you obviously know that, you know me, I like running backs in this kind of league. And but
he's got some big butt wide receivers, though. Like,
yeah, he does. But
two of them,
I mean,
two big butt wide receivers there.
I just think that the depth at running back, it just hurts you because I mean, you got if you're playing really good until week 9 and you win all those weeks, then you're good.
If we didn't rip off like running backs early and often, it was hard to stack any solid running back depth here in this draft.
Oh yeah, TD.
Well, I mean, Hustler did.
Well, yeah,
because he went. That's what he ripped them off like out the gate.
But there's like I said, it's like you can find receivers later, and you can find a quarterback later in a 1 QB. You don't have to be like I got Tannehill in what round was that?
It was after I got Brady. When I got Brady, I was like, I didn't have to do that.
Yeah. So we'll see what you guys grade me because I went totally different than anybody went here.
Yeah, I feel like your strategy's good.
To go all those RBs, man, I like your team, Hustler.
No. Francisco first. We're gonna do me.
Francisco. Okay, well, I say a C. I give him a C plus. He has upside to make the playoffs, so that's all that matters. But I think he might end up having to try to choose between Justin Fields and Dak Prescott. I don't like doing that in fantasy. I don't like having two good players that I have to choose.
But you got Herbert and Lance.
Mm-hmm.
But that's fine. Lance ain't starting.
Yeah, but he can trade. I mean, he can't. I mean, maybe not.
I mean, Herbert.
Fields is not a starter yet either, though.
But I don't think. Okay, I get what you're saying. That makes sense. But I don't think Dak Prescott is Justin Herbert.
And I'm basing I'm kind of basing my grades off of week 1. Everybody else could do what they're gonna do, but I'm kind of basing off of starting lineup week 1. Like, how's it? You know, like that. That's how I'm doing it, anyways.
Yeah, and like I said, I give him a C.
I think that's been the consensus. C and C minuses across the board. Justin, why don't you read off your team?
All right, so I went, Devonta Adams. I feel like his upside's higher than a lot of the guys I feel like that went in front of him. I mean, especially with they're talking about being, Jordan and Pippen, so apparently there's going to be something there. Anyways, I went Jonathan Taylor because he fell so late. Why not just take him? I mean, his upside's at least there. That's super late to me. Then Josh Allen because I think he could easily be the number 1 quarterback. That's just my opinion. Josh Jacobs, I'm not huge on him, but in the 4th round with what's left, he has
Drizzy's hurt too right now too.
So he could still be.
Nah, he's good.
He's good.
He's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
His music's not.
So I went Deontay Johnson because I think he'll probably be the number 1 there. And I had to snipe you.
Yeah, jerk.
And Kareem Hunt, he's an easy fill-in RB for me every week. Anytime, and I can still flex him every week and still be good enough. He catches passes and he runs the ball. So, he can't be a number 1. Obviously, showed that when Chubb was out, but at least he can put up RB2 numbers. That's good enough for me.
In his defense, he was nursing a knee injury when Chubb was out too, so he was playing hurt. You know what I mean?
And that's good. At least I have an RB2 as my RB3. That to me is like I said, I like to have at least somebody there in case one of my guys goes down in front of him.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion. Michael Thomas, you say it's kind of soon, but I mean, even if he comes back week 5, that's good enough to have a wide receiver. Even if he's not the top wide receiver 1 anymore, at least he'd be a top wide receiver 2. Especially with Callaway taking some of that heat over the top from him.
Yeah.
I feel like there's an opportunity there to have an elite wide receiver still that late. Cortland Sutton, I like him a lot. Steven.
I know. I'm not a Cortland Sutton guy either.
That's all right. I like him. We'll see. I think he's good.
That's our dump truck drop too, by the way. When you hear the beeping up, that means we're unloading the dump. You know what I mean?
He's gonna hate. That's all right.
Backing up the trash.
So guys, I gotta go. I gotta put my son to sleep. Hey, it's been. I appreciate everything, Hustler. Guys, it's been fantastic. This is fun. We gotta do this again. I'm off Thursday. I'm going to Vegas, by the way, guys, too.
Oh yeah. Hey, put it on red. You know what I'm saying? Put it on red.
Take it easy.
Yep.
Yeah,
Y'all be safe. Yep.
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 Have a good sports day.
Where'd you leave off? You're almost done, right? What'd you get?
James Conner. I mean, what is that? My RB4. He's the starter. We'll see.
I hope James Conner isn't annoying and takes like touchdowns from Kyler Murray at the goal line and shit. Because I kind of feel the same way about Arizona running backs to a degree, like I do with Buffalo, where I feel like the quarterback is just going to take everything, all the upside away from the running backs. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah, I like Judy over Sutton too, but I know there's something about Sutton. There's something about him I like.
So, like
he was already drafted in this one, though. He's drafted.
No, he came after. I think he went after.
No, he's not. I see it. He went. Judy went in the 7th. You took Sutton in the 8th.
Is Cortland Sutton like what's going? Is he on the pup right now? Like, is he getting?
I think he was just coming. I mean, they're just.
He went out week 1.
Yeah.
So it's literally been a year for him.
Yeah.
I mean, Preston Williams is the most recent example of that, and they kind of built the same way too, like height wise and shit. Like, and Preston Williams, he started off the year with like limited snaps. That's the one thing why I wouldn't really touch Cortland Sutton. I'd probably I bet you I end up with a bunch of Cortland Sutton because he'd be a throw-in in trades. They'd be like, well, you know what? I'll throw in Cortland Sutton. I'm like, deal. You know what I mean? Like, I could see that happening. Like, I'll have some Cortland Sutton, but I can't draft him.
I like it. There's something about him I like.
The other thing is we're gonna see how much Tim Patrick really developed. And if he's going to eat into those numbers even more, because
Tim Patrick was a DFS goat.
KJ Hamler.
Oh, MC Hamler.
Yeah,
he was hurt like pretty much all last year.
How can any of the I mean, let's see what the quarterbacks do.
Yeah,
they got a ton of weapons over there, huh? In Denver, they
bring in Deshaun. Hey, bring in Deshaun. Bring Deshaun.
Bring him in. That'd be awesome.
Oh my God. Woo! That's a team to. Oh my God, that's a.
The world will go crazy.
Oh yeah.
All right, finish up your squad.
All right, so Russell. What did I say? I grabbed Tannehill because I said I like to have 2 guys that at least can be there just in case. Chuba Hubbard. That's the upside for just in case CMC were to go down, or there's some upside there too to play him. I mean, I think they'll at least bring him in and do some stuff with him. He looked pretty good. Russell Gage, I think he'll get the number 2 job, but I mean Pitts is there, so he's going to get a lot of looks too. So I mean, he did me well in a championship a couple of years ago, so can't see him wrong.
He's part of the fraternity.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then
the 12 gauge.
Devonta Booker. I mean, he's backing up Saquon.
I see your little strategy there. I like it. I'm a fan of that.
At least I'm taking some things that happened last year, but put them into effect.
Yeah.
Tyrell Williams, he's the number 1 there. So I mean, at least there's an upside to still have another receiver that's a number 1 receiver. He's still going to be like a wide receiver 3, but
Tyrell the Gazelle.
And then I took my tight end late to stream, and then defense to stream. We'll just might as well.
Yeah, and I like the fuck the kicker attitude. I'm with it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Streaming defenses and kickers.
Yeah.
So
you know what?
I'm gonna
say I like his team. Well, go ahead, Us.
I was gonna say I'm gonna give you a C plus, and I mean you got Michael Thomas, and like Bogart said, if Cortland Sutton is on limited snaps first week, so yeah, and Cole Kmet, who knows what he's gonna be right away with Jimmy Graham coming back, even though he's the better one. Jimmy Graham, like man,
Jimmy Grandpa,
he's a
hanging
touchdown.
around.
Hey, on what was it? Did they play the Hall of Fame game? Right, the Bears. No. That was the Cowboys and the Steelers. Okay, so it was week 1 of the preseason, right? And they were talking to Cole Kmet on the sideline, one of the reporters, and then Jimmy Graham just comes up and just like dumps ice on him. You know what I mean? And he's just like, he just stood there and took it, and he was like, "Oh, that's Jimmy." It's just like, what I mean? He just punked his ass. Like it's the same
Coming
way
for your job.
Yeah, it's the same way. He's like, "Listen, I'm putting ice on your job."
No, I love Jimmy Graham. I got his Seattle Seahawks. I got a Seattle Seahawks jersey.
He was the man on the Saints. I remember that first year. I think it was 2010. I can't remember if it was somewhere between 2009 and 2011, where Jimmy burst onto the scene. I can't remember who they got rid of, but I was all over Jimmy that year.
They got rid of was that the last, not rid of him, but it was that the last Marcus Colson year, and then Jimmy Graham hella blew up.
Yeah, and there was like 2 tight ends that they had the year before, and then they got rid of both of them. Let them both go into free agent.
They made a rule against. Yeah, they made a rule. They made a rule against you can't touch the
goalpost.
The goalpost. That's from Jimmy Graham.
He would mess it up,
dunk on it.
Yeah,
and it would throw it out. Yeah,
slamming
Shaq style.
Well, I mean,
because those things are hollow too.
Yeah.
Those things are hollow too. Jimmy Grahams.
Yep.
What'd you say, KD?
I give him a C plus B minus here. I'm gonna live in a world that we're looking at his lineup that with Michael Thomas in it eventually. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna give him a C plus B minus. I like this team.
Yeah, I give him a C plus. My reason is a little bit different though. Is because of Tannehill. If Tannehill can emulate what he did last year, I think he's probably going to slide in there and being in the top tier of quarterbacks for the fantasy. Because it was at one point he was staring down 40 touchdowns and single-digit interceptions. That's good on a fantasy standpoint. Now he went from 189 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, those type of games to I'm a viable 3-touchdown quarterback in this system. And then you turn around, you give it a shot in the arm with Julio. I'm not saying Julio is going to be a Julio of old, but he is respectable. So if he's out there, teams are going to have to say, okay, look, we got to basically respect him. And I just think that's going to open up the play action a little bit more for him to get a little bit more scamper yards as well. So
he likes to run it in for touchdowns too with that finger roll drip.
Exactly. So.
It's the best. His touchdown celebration is the best. He's like, whoop, every time, dude. He just finger roll drips it. The layup.
Yep. All right, Bogart. Let's break down your team a little bit.
Go ahead. Sound mine off for me.
All right. So we got Zeke, Hopkins, Kittle, Evans, Gaskin, Edmonds, Chenault, Brady, Damien Harris, Callaway, Pittman, McKissick, AJ Green, Jameis Winston, the Browns, and then Mason Crosby.
You didn't go AJ Green in the first round?
Man, you know what? Just the fact that I have AJ Green kind of brings my grade down, I'd say.
Weren't they talking earlier about AJ Green going in the first round of someone's draft?
Actually, if I looked at this team and it wasn't mine, I'd give it like a C plus, like a C plus. I think it's a well balanced team. Actually, looking at it.
No, I think it's pretty good. Especially getting Damien Harris that late.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like your team's definitely C plus B minus. Your team.
I don't really like Chase Edmonds, but I needed running back there. And then when I went Brady, I was like, damn, right when I clicked, I was like, I should have took Harris. And when I came back and he was there, I was like, cool, boom.
Well,
so
Jameis late too.
I give you a B minus for that, partly because of the reason that you just mentioned. You got to remember we got Rhondella Moore in Arizona, so they're not going to rely too much on Edmonds. If he's healthy, he's going to a lot of those passing yardage and stuff to the running back position. He can kind of go back and eat up those type of receptions and so forth.
Yeah.
The biggest thing is when he's given his chance, how is he going to capitalize off of it?
Yeah, because when he got the chance last, like whoever had the starting job in Arizona last year, and it's the same system, mind you, right? Whoever was the starter got 20 touches, whether it was Drake, and when Drake went down, it was Edmonds, but Edmonds and Drake, when they just whenever they got the 20 touches, wouldn't produce as much as they did when they were sharing. It was odd.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was 20 touches, 42 yards. It's like, what?
Yeah, for real. You know what I'm saying? And then like Kyler Murray scampers in for the touchdown. And it's just, you know what I mean? Like, and really, they didn't start getting rushing touchdowns from their running backs until Kyler Murray got hurt. And they were like, all right, we're not calling no running plays for him. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that's the one thing I want to see what Cliff Kingsbury is going to do.
He's a terrible play caller.
Well,
he's horrible.
Well, okay. Well, you got to understand. He got a lot of weapons to kind of cover that up. If he's hard, if they do the same thing this year, then yeah, it's evident he's straight up horrible because with all the talent that they have around him now, yeah.
Ooh, Eric Bieniemy go over there.
Yeah, just like we're grading everybody hard here, I'm definitely grading Kingsbury hard. I don't know. I mean, I think you're grading yourself hard. I mean, I give this a B. I mean, because you got Zeke and Gaskin, and I mean, Gaskin's.
I'm the Gaskin guy. I wasn't scared about this Malcolm Brown nonsense. We weren't scared of none of that. You know what I mean?
I think I have him either at 14 or 15 in my ranks right now. And then you got D-Hop, Kittle, and Evans right off the bat. So, I mean, after Gaskin, I mean, the next three guys there are flexing. So, I mean, that's Edmonds, Shenault, and Harris. You know, I like that. I mean, even McKissick can be in there, maybe over Shenault, you know, depending on the situation. Then Callaway, if he's going to be the number one, like with Winston, like he might be better than Shenault week one. Who knows? But yeah, and then got Winston late. I don't even grade based on the defense and the kicker. So AJ Green just seems like your last pick here. And yeah, I mean, Matt Harmon was already talking up AJ Green. So
yeah,
that'll be good. We'll do something.
All right, I'll take it. B for Bogard.
Yep.
I will say I love being in the middle of a draft, no matter what the format is. Just like you're not waiting, you're not chasing. You seem to have options. If people pass on things, usually if you're in the middle, they'll fall to you. You know what I mean? Like, I like being in the middle.
Bogart in the middle.
Yes.
Everybody else get their grade in here? I can't remember. I'm a couple.
Not you. We gotta do your team, boy.
Oh no, not. I mean, the grades on Bogart. That's what I was saying.
Yep. Everyone. Yep.
All right. So in one QB leagues, I like just punting the QB and the tight end, you know, because I can get my starters like right away. So, I mean, there's 7 starters outside of the QB and the tight end. And so my first 7 players those are all my starters right there. I went Najee Harris, Eckler, James Robinson, who I've moved up to 13 in my ranks now.
Spicy.
He was 22 before. So now, and ETN was 21. James Robinson was 22. That was how I originally had it. Bumped up Robinson to 13.
I love it. You got him over Gibson?
Got him over Gibson? No, I have Gibson at 8.
Okay, awesome.
So I have Robinson over like the CEHs, Montgomery, Dobbins.
JKs, yeah, okay.
Yeah, over those guys. Carson, Swift. Right above Williams as well, and Gaskin. And then, so I went, then 4 wide receivers right in a row, PPR league. So I went Woods, Godwin, T. Higgins, and Robbie Anderson. I was going to take Deontay Johnson, snipe me, Justin. Godwin was my panic pick. I didn't really know who to pick there, but felt like he was solid enough.
He has God and win in his name, so you never can go wrong.
There you go. And then shaping out my bench. So Dylan got Drake on my bench, got Michael Gallup on my bench. Jonnu Smith, especially week 1, his first couple weeks, I think he's going to be good because Hunter Henry's been missing, being injured. So yeah, I think Jonnu right away early is going to be that dude. And then Jacoby Myers, man, he's going to be the number 1 there. I really like Emmanuel Sanders there, especially after hearing Josh Allen on the Pardon My Take interview a couple days ago and talking about how Emmanuel Sanders is looking really good in camp. And we already know he's the number 2 on that squad right now. Gio Bernard, I like him being the 3rd down pass catching back. And we know he's good at pass protection. Everybody else there is pretty ass with that. And
even Fournette.
Yeah,
They're all
Fournette's
athletic.
horrible.
Yeah.
Big body Fournette. You would think he'd be good at just
just stand in the way. You know what I mean?
He's not.
He's a fluffy tank.
That's why he gets hurt so much too.
Fluffy tank.
And then went Matt Ryan. So it's either Matt Ryan or Kirk Cousins for me. And I just went Matt Ryan. I just feel like he's going to have to throw it a little bit more than Kirk Cousins. And no double quarterback. We'd just be flexing it, or we'd just be streaming it if we needed to. And then went Darrington Evans, just because I said I think he's going to get some I think he's going to get some snaps in the slot and just used in different positions. But that injury is kind of holding him back right now. So we'll see what happens.
I like it, man. I think this is the one team I'm going to give an A, because the fact that you can go those 4 wide receivers after going those 3 running backs is incredible.
It's like a B+ for me for sure. This is probably the best team.
Yeah. I'll give them the A-. It's
probably a strategy I would have went to. It's a pretty good strategy.
I'm giving you a B+ because as I look, I typically look at everybody lineups from the bottom to the top, and it gets scarier as I'm looking at it, because it's like either way, the 4 wide receivers could beat you, the 3 running backs could beat you, and then by the way, I can intermingle them, 2 wide receivers and 2 running backs to beat you no matter what in any kind of league. This is a pretty complete roster. So yeah, I'll give you.
I'm not a huge fan of Matt Ryan, but you can find someone.
Yeah,
Matt Ryan every year. So Matt Ryan's average pass attempts every year has been 620. Matter of fact, he hit 620 on the mark last year. You got Anthony. What's his name? You got Arthur Smith coming over there, right from the Titans, where they ran. They never threw the ball over 490 times with Tannehill, but they had Derrick Henry. So I don't think the pass attempts drop down. But what's it going to drop? Like, maybe with the fact that we have 17 games now, I still think he's going to hover around his average still. You know what I mean? Like 600, 620.
He's still got to get used to playing without. I mean, he has before, but play without Julio.
I mean, he's had a lot. He's played a lot of games without Julio.
He's not even there. He's not even there to talk to. Like nothing anymore.
Mm-hmm.
He was still. I mean, Julio is still there to be a good guy for his wide receivers. At least talk to them and tell them what they're doing wrong. Any of that stuff. He's just gone. He's a veteran that's gone.
He was always hurt. He was always hurt.
He was still there.
Still confident. Well, you gotta think too. He was also teaching receivers what to do when the play breaks down.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something he's gonna miss. To guys that improvises based off how the defense ends up playing you when people move into zone and moves out of zone.
I think this team is going to be good for fantasy purposes because they got a defense that's going to be bad. They're bad on paper. I don't think they're going to improve. They have a offensive-minded head coach in the building, so it's not like the emphasis is improve the defense right away. You know what I mean? And I will say, like, with being in that division, there's going to be a ton of shootouts. You know what I mean? And Mike Davis, he's more in the passing game to me. So everything's an extension of him. They're probably not going to be too many. Like Todd Gurley vultured hella touchdowns last year. That was annoying. You know what I mean? Like as bad as their red zone woes were, they were okay because of Todd Gurley. You know what I mean? And if not, they were kicking the field goals. You know what I mean? So I do like Matt Ryan. I think Calvin Ridley. Calvin Ridley's my number 4 number 5 wide receiver on the year. You know what I mean? Calvin Ridley. We've seen a large sample size of games without Julio. You know what I mean? And if you think about, the people say, there's Pitts now. That's cool. You know what I mean? There's still 107. It's 170 vacant targets from Julio. You know what I mean? Like, and someone like Calvin Ridley was already seeing about 20% of the target market share. Now he's probably going to see 25 to 30, and that's elite level target market share, and that's what you want. And Calvin Ridley's probably one of the best values in the second round this year. So I'd rather have him over DK in redraft.
I got a question for you guys then. So in this league that I'm in, it's a 10-team redraft league, and I got the 10th pick, and then we get 2 keepers this year, and my choice is to keep AJ Brown at the 3.9 or the 310, and then Calvin Ridley at the 4.1. Is that a good choice? And then just
I would keep those 2. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Do you have do you have a list? You're going to have a list of people of the keepers, right? So you're going to know what running backs are out there. And since it's a keeper league, you're still probably going to have like while people are going to go in for Najee over like give me an example of a running back that might get thrown back, like J.K. Dobbins or something like that.
Well, McCaffrey's going to be back in there because
McCaffrey's going to be so he's coming off the board.
Yep. So I mean,
so
the first round is going to be pretty normal. So I feel like even if a Travis Kelce falls to me or like and then like I don't think Gibson's going to be taken that early. So then I have like two.
Man, if
like
Gibson and Harris
there.
fall to you somehow there, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's a 10 team. Like it's possible.
That'd be dope.
Yeah, and then have those two elite receivers and then just go from there.
Even Joe Mixon, man. Everyone don't want to touch Joe Mixon, man. But if I could pair Joe Mixon with another solid running back, I feel like it alleviates the risk of having Joe Mixon. You know what I mean?
Well,
I like Chris Evans.
Hey, you just said it. Why nobody want him, Bogard?
Yeah.
I mean, people have lost leagues because of freaking Joe Mixon.
You know what's crazy is like in 2018, I won the league because of him. You know what I mean? So it's like, and in 2019, he got me to the promised land. And then, you know what I'm saying? So I always look at the per game basis stat for Joe Mixon because you can't look at he never plays a full season. So you have to look at a per game basis, or you could try to pace him out. And if you pace him out, he's usually around 1,400 all purpose yards. So I'm just saying, like in a keeper league, that's essentially getting him like, you're probably starting in like the second or third round if it's a keeper league, right? Essentially, because 20, how many keepers? That's 20 keepers off the board, right? So you're essentially like makeshift third round, right?
Well,
so
some people are getting like Justin Jefferson in like the 9th round, or like Josh Allen super late because he was last year he wasn't drafted early because he wasn't as elite.
Yeah, so the person that's keeping CMC isn't going to keep CMC because you don't want to give it.
It's
first round.
So we only do a certain amount of years. There's a person that it doesn't matter if he's traded or anything. So after the 3rd year, he has to go back. So I kept him after I got him in the 4th round, and I kept him. And then I traded him in the next year, and
now he's expired.
Yeah, so somebody else had him for a year, and now he's expired. So like those players could go back into the pot.
That's a cool little twist.
I like something. It's just nice. It's different.
Well, all right. We've been this was a marathon here. We went through literally every team. Everybody loved it though. We had a bunch of people on the stream the entire time, so
that's good.
That's awesome.
Well worth it.
Shout out to everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for sticking around. Make sure you hit the like button too. Hit the like button.
Smash it on the way out. All right. Well, everybody here is a repeat offender except for KD. So KD, why don't you shout out where everybody could find you and shout out the show that you're a part of.
So if you guys are on Facebook, it's From the Couch Sports. We do fantasy football on Tuesdays, and then we do a regular NFL type of roundup on Thursdays. I'm also starting a YouTube channel. It's going to be a Fresh Perspective Sports Lounge. I'll push it out to Fantasy Football Hustler, and then he'll basically let you guys know where to find me. I'll be doing mostly Ravens and college football type of stuff.
Tired. I'm gonna tune in for the college ball shit for sure. Because man, like you can't get enough of that. The people, I commend everybody doing the college content because, man, I'm looking forward to it. So I don't have to do all the work. You know what I mean? Like,
Steven. Steven.
It's like, yo, you know what I mean? Get some fresh perspective, right? See what I did there?
There we go. All right, everybody. We'll see you later. Peace out. Probably gonna do another mock tomorrow. So be on the lookout. Peace out.
Defense on me.
I don't want them to gain another yard.
You blitz all night. If they cross the line of scrimmage, I'm going to take every last one of you out. You make sure they remember forever the night they played the Titans. Here comes the